All right, think we in the building. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Let me see. Um, think we need. What's up, Hess? You wanna get the homie up in here? Let's see. Who else? Um, let's see. Where's Miss J? What's going on, Cola? Um, yeah, share the joint. What's up, everybody? How y'all feeling? I need to open up. You know what? I need to let everybody know we here. Hold on. Um, Let me let everybody know where we at. Let me open up the room. Put this over here. There you go. Now I can see y'all. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling, man? So, if you just got here today, we're talking about movies. Dude, I did the wrong date. Hold on, let me edit this. I need to edit this event. I'll edit it. Let's see. Oh shoot. Give me a second, y'all. There we go. And save. Cool. Alright, let's see who in the building. Alright, I just started it. Alright, so can I put the what behind me, Hess? Let me put the title behind me. Let me see. Let me put the title. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I can't put the title behind me. It's facts. Boom. Like that. There we go. All right. Where's Miss J at? Let me see. I gotta put. Let me grab the link. All right, let me grab this link and put it in. Where's the? Hey Hess, can you do me a favor and go put the link in the clubhouse room that I just opened in the chat? Let me see. Keep the audio here too. Okay. And Great Poseidon said keep the audio on Clubhouse too. Alright, cool. I just gonna put the link in there. You know what? It's more reliable. Let me see. So I'm gonna do it like this. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling, man? Shout out to everybody up in this joint. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. So we're gonna talk about some conspiracy movies, man. We'll talk about what y'all favorite conspiracy movies is. Oh no. Hold on. Did I invite you? I think I invited you up. Alright, guys. Yeah, everybody, hit the like button, y'all. Let's run up the likes. Let everybody know where we at. Oh, okay, here I got you. Yeah, you can pin it up there, Hess. All right, cool. is it at? Oh, cool. So what I was going to do was this. Alright, and so I think let me see. This should go. Hey, can you guys hear it? I wonder if they can hear it. Yeah, I think they can hear it. It's playing on Clubhouse, I think. Hey, yo. Is it playing on Clubhouse? Can y'all hear it? Yes? Oh, sweet. Alright, cool. So, that's what I wanted to do. Oh, cool. Creasy says she can hear me talking. Alright. You know, we getting there. Shout out to everybody, man. How y'all feeling? Who's this trying to pop up? We got our first guest tonight. What's going on? What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, man?
How you feeling, brother?
I'm all right. Give me 2 seconds.
You said what? What'd you say, bro?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, you caught me mid-shit. I had to hurry up and wash my hands, bro. But I have a topic of a movie that is conspiracy.
Oh, yeah? What you got?
Center of the Earth, Agartha, the Agartha theory. It may not be a conspiracy, but I think it's a real thing. Hollow Earth.
I mean, that's definitely up there in the conspiracy realm. It's not mainstream. You know, there are several movies that talk about kind of Hollow Earth. The Godzilla.
It gets crazy for me because I actually had a great grandfather that was on that expedition with Admiral Byrd.
Wait. Hold on. Wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm whistleblowing, bro.
Hold on. First of all, you sound black. Are you black?
I'm mixed, man. I'm Italian and black.
So hold on. Was it your Italian grandfather that was there, or was it your black grandfather that was there?
Whoever served in the Navy.
You don't know which one?
He served in the Navy, man. Does it matter? Does it matter what he is, though? It doesn't matter what he is. He was there. He went through it.
No, not to me. I'm just curious. I want to know, like, yo, was it?
That was the Italian side. He went through the Navy. Yeah, that was him. But he went on that expedition with Admiral Byrd, and he found that hidden place.
So hold on.
He took it to his grave, man. He took it to his grave.
Time out. I need time out.
All right.
So what you're saying is your grandfather was on the expedition with Admiral Byrd. That's what you're telling me?
I'm telling you exactly. There are notes and everything that my grandmother has. There are notes. Yeah. I'm telling you.
What did he tell her when he got back?
The problem was he didn't say shit. He took it to his grave, bro. But we knew he went on that expedition. He just didn't talk much about it. He just said what he did. He didn't say what he saw. He just was there.
Why do you think he didn't say much about what he did?
Because during the time this was before I was even alive, man. Mm-hmm. So back in that time, they weren't comfortable to have a whistleblower. If you were a whistleblower, you were shot dead on sight. So you really couldn't say anything. So if you need to say something, it kind of gets tricky. Mm-hmm. So he took it to his grave. But we knew.
Y'all knew. Okay. All right. So so you knew this guy, right? So this is like he was alive in your time.
This is my great grandfather. My grandmother's son.
Okay. All right.
This is my grandmother's father.
Yeah, so it was kind of like you were real young when he was alive.
Tricky.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. I'm not mad at it. So you say somebody left some notes. Is that what you're telling me? That there are notes?
He has his note. Well, a diary isn't a thing anymore, but that's what he called it at the time. He has a diary.
So have you read it? Do you have access to it?
Yep.
What did these notes, like what kind of details were in it?
It was a separate part of Earth that was in the middle of the crust and the center of everything that happened. There was a different society and there were many different beings. So it's not so it's earthly. But let me pick your brain. Do you understand what the term extraterrestrial means?
How you do?
Exactly. So they're it's an extra part of an Earth. It's extra part of Earth.
You know, I get you. Again, I'm a flat Earth dude, so I understand extraterrestrial. I get you.
I mean, like, I want to say flat Earth, but I think other planets have this similar concept. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you think we see people on Mars on their surface? It's too hot, apparently, right? Why don't they live underground? Why couldn't they live underground? Why couldn't they be cooler?
Mm-hmm. I got
you. Dude, I read and I study and I love all this kind of stuff.
you. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? That's interesting. What was your granddad's name, bro?
My grandfather's name, his name was Joseph. Joseph Klein.
Hey, somebody they put the galaxy up. Somebody sent the galaxy mist.
Whoa.
Shout out to Hess. You know what I'm saying? Shouting out all the extraterrestrials and all the Earth-like planets in the universe.
Yeah, but like recently they just said, oh, aliens are hiding out in our ocean. Okay. Kind of ties into an extraterrestrial thing, don't it?
It does.
You right. And you right, buddy boy. I love your shirt. Love your shirt. You right, man. You right. Because honestly, of course they're hanging out there, but we discovered 10% of our ocean, but we want to go up in space and figure out what's going on up and around, but not what we got here. It gets tricky. I think certain beings and certain living beings have been, I wouldn't say fossilized, but what would okay, let me put two and two together. Mummification.
Right.
You can mummify a human being, but can a person or a living being be mummified in their current state and where they're at in that position and stay where they are?
I think so. You know what? I literally, and it's only funny because I did a podcast about this a couple days ago. So, well, I talked about it on the podcast. But yes, there's actually some Buddhist monks that are embalming themselves while they're living.
There's a monk that's still technically alive and embalmed in the actual casing. Yeah. He is embalmed, but he's still living. The only reason that he's still living because meditation is a purgatory state. Meditation is a purgatory state. To stay where you are, just to be still, but still conscious. People are doing experimentations and saying he's dead. How do we know he's for sure dead? Because his heart's not beating? Or because that's what he chooses to do? I think if somebody got froze for a while and these movies and stuff, they tell us a little bit of truth. They tell us a little bit of truth. And we're sitting there thinking it's a fantasy because it's entertaining. But why can't it be true? Why can't it be true?
So your favorite conspiracy movie is Journey to the Center of Earth because you're saying that they're telling us about the Admiral Byrd expedition when he went.
Yeah, because think about it. What tool went to the center of the Earth and say it was a magma core? That tool would not go all the way to there. That tool would have melted.
So let me get this straight, just so I understand.
Oh,
you think there's an inner Earth, but you also think that the Earth has an inner core, like a magma core?
I don't believe it has an inner core because if it did have a magma core and they're trying to say that we studied it, no tools that man has made would be able to sit there and be there. It would have melted. It would have messed up. It ain't gonna happen.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm not mad at that, bro. Not mad at that at all. What's going on, Robin? How you feel?
What's up with it? I'm good. Hey, I have heard about that. The monk or that is supposedly mummified or not dead, but it's something about like if he was saying they can't tell if he's alive or if he's dead. And he hasn't moved, he hasn't eaten, but I have heard about who he's talking about before. And then there's this one, like they're talking about zombies and stuff. It's because they take some kind of drug or something that lowers their heart rate so low that technically when the doctors and stuff are looking for signs of life, they would be considered dead. But their heart and blood is still pumping at a very, very slow level, like undetectable, and they're still alive and they come back to life. Like that's where the zombies come from.
he would die instantly. If he woke up right now, he would die instantly.
He said if he woke up now, he would die instantly.
If he woke up now, he died instantly.
So what's the plan? To just leave him in a state of?
Yeah, leave him in a state of meditation. That's an achievement that we can achieve as human beings and also as a soul. It's a tricky situation. It's an experiential thing. You could take my word and everything that is said, and we can read articles, but to understand the situation, unfortunately, you have to put yourself through a situation, but that's only if you're willing and have to do it. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is ever set in stone. It is an idea. But the practice, the experience, can lead you to having different information. And that's why I think certain cultures learning from each other and being a part of each other and listening to each other, because different parts of the globe, like I said again, it just gets tricky. It gets really tricky because subjects are touchy.
Right. Well, I get you, bro. I get you. I'm not mad at that. Yo, shout out to everybody that's here, man. How y'all feeling? So it's Conspiracy University. We here every Monday. We getting started early. My man, what's I think his name? Jimmy. Man,
Hey
Jimmy.
man, call me Tori, man. My name is Torrence. All right, call me Tori.
Torrence?
Torrence, yeah.
Torrence. You know what? I'm gonna have to put on my accent. Torrence. My man Torrence.
I mean,
That's
you made the
Italian. I
hand.
feel that.
Yeah, it is. And you
You know
made the
what?
right hand gesture. You made the right
You know
hand
the messed up
gesture.
part about it. Whenever I say Torrence, like I gotta do this with my fingers, otherwise it don't.
I am a Black American and an Italian. I'm Italian born in Italy. Came over because my dad's Black American. So I have two sides that I have to actually put together. I have two different experiences, two different ways of living.
Mamma mia. Hold on.
And I'll tell you what, both are cooking good. Thanksgiving was lit.
All right, cool. Hey, there goes my man right there. All right, so it's kind of my co-host for the night, my man Diablio. Diablio. Hey, my man. Go in.
Hey, Leon, how are you?
What's going on, Diablo? How you feel, bro? You good?
Good. Glad to be here.
I know,
It's an
right?
interesting subject, actually. I love this subject.
I know.
Conspiracies and movies.
¿Se habla español?
No. My man is not Espanol at all. He's where you from, Diablo?
I am from Jordan, so I speak Arabic beside English.
Okay, mashallah, brother. Mashallah.
MashaAllah. Allahu Akbar.
Allah Akbar. Much love to you, brother. No, much love to you, though. Much love to you.
Thank you.
I recognize the person that you are.
English. That's all right. It's all right. What's up, man?
So this is my first time live in TikTok. How can I mute myself when I need to? I found it. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. You found it. Cool. So, real quick, have you ever listened to lives on TikTok, Diablo? You gotta unmute to talk.
I did. Yeah, I did.
All right, so you know that they're really strict on what you can talk about, so we got to kind of be mindful. We're gonna try to keep the vulgarity to a minimum. So if you do too much, then they'll restrict the live, and people won't be able to find it. Kind of.
Oh yeah, I got you. No,
Right.
my room is family friendly in Clubhouse.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So that's for everybody. If you come on stage to tell us about a movie or you want to chime in, please keep it family friendly. PG-13 at the most. I'm doing my best. I think I've been doing pretty good over the past 2 weeks. Robin, have I been doing good for 2 weeks? Did I get 2 weeks in? I'm good to go for 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks I haven't had a live cut off.
I think we've done good. We haven't got kicked off in about 2 or 3 weeks. So good job.
Oh, hey, I'm good. All right, so a couple things, man. So shout out to Hess, who's been dropping the gifts. Make sure y'all like the live, man. We're trying to get to about 10,000. We only have 5. We only halfway there. Also, share it. Let everybody know where we at, man. Y'all come up in this joint. What else? Oh, so this is my shirt. So seeing as how I'm like the only person on camera and y'all just keep seeing my face, I need y'all to know this is my disclaimer. Oh, let me move over here. This is my disclaimer. All right. You can get this shirt at blackasauniform.com, blackasauniform.com. If you have an expressive face, kind of like mine, like I can't hide anything. Like if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer you with this. Okay. So if you have one of these, then by all means, go to blackasauniform.com. I think it's in the Talking Tees collection, man. In the Talking Tees. Hey, yo, nice headphones. Has some. Hey, yo, those are cool. All right. So that being said, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. I appreciate my man Diablo who comes through all the time. Oh man, I forgot to put Jimothy down. So shout out to everybody that came through. I appreciate y'all hanging out. My man Diablo is here. He is the movie expert. All right. So the whole so we're going to talk about our favorite conspiracy movies. All right. What is your favorite conspiracy movie? So that's what we're going to talk about. So if you're here, you got a favorite conspiracy movie, by all means, come through, come tell us about what yours is, right? And then we'll talk about some of mine. I know Robin's got one. Robin, you got a favorite conspiracy movie?
My favorite one is probably Surrogates with Bruce Willis.
Hey, Surrogates is pretty dope. I can't front. So Surrogates is the movie version of what was the Netflix show where they used to carbon
Or Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon, yeah. So Surrogates is a version of Altered Carbon, but it's a little different. So Altered Carbon, they used to just they used to put you into different bodies. Surrogates was you, and then they put your consciousness into like this mechanical body. So, but they reminded me of each other. Get me? Hey Diablo, you seen Surrogates? My man Diablo at?
No, this one I haven't seen actually. Surrogates. I think.
Surrogates?
Wait, is it the one that they can change their body and get another body and go to the community in a different like bodysuit, something like that?
Yeah. And if you don't have enough money, you end up with a screwed up kind of suit. But nobody leaves their house anymore. Everyone goes to work and operates in the city using their surrogate, and everybody's basically stuck in a chair, like a video game chair with a headset on, and you do everything through your surrogate body. And it's almost kind of like that video game, Real Life or whatever that computer simulation game is. Like people are dressed up or have their own personalities. Like some big old fat guy could be walking around pretending to be a skinny blonde chick with having, relationships with different people, like basic ultimate catfish type,
Right. There is I remember a line from the movie when Bruce Willis said, "I don't know who you are. Maybe you're not a woman. Maybe you're just a man." And his organ is laying down in the chair in the house, something like that.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah, that one. So have you seen Altered Carbon, the TV show? So I know you do movies. Do you do TV shows as well? Like, do you decode TV shows?
Not as much. I watch TV shows, but I'm not big in TV shows. Like, I don't remember a lot, especially Netflix ones. I feel I have something against Netflix, actually. I never liked them.
Yo, Netflix has some the concepts they put out, right, in terms of movies and TV shows. Like, you never watch Black Mirror?
That's my
Oh no, Black Mirror started as not a Netflix show. Then Netflix bought the rights and they continue. But no, it's a different category. I love Black Mirror. I think I watch everything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So no, it's some stuff on Netflix, man. It's all right. All right. If you're here, really, who is this fat kid running on the what you call it? Yes. If you're here and you want to tell us about your favorite conspiracy movie, just raise your hand so so we can hear about it. Raise your hand so we can hear about your favorite conspiracy movie if you want to tell us about it. So I was looking at a list of top conspiracy movies. Since we ain't got nobody here just yet, I want to run through the list with you, Diablo. You tell me if you've seen it, and if you have, what you think about it, right? So after a while, we're going to get into, who is it? Y'all hear that? So after a while, we're gonna get into we'll get into some of your favorites. So you told me about some of your favorites, and so there was one I hadn't seen. I had to go watch it today. We're gonna talk about that in a whole second. So matter of fact, we were talking about the one I just got done watching. Literally just got done watching was Clockwork Orange, right? Diablo, can you give us can you break down what Clockwork Orange is about right quick?
Well, Clockwork Orange, it's actually directed by Stanley Kubrick, one of my favorite directors, the greatest director of all time to me. I call him, as I told you before, he's like the godfather of the conspiracy movies. He's all about conspiracy, all his movies. One of them is Clockwork Orange. The movie, I think, was 1980 or the late 70s. Literally, the movie is talking about mind control and the method that the government used to control people and to alter their mind, alter their personality. He used that in the movie like it was an experiment to change somebody who was very violent to obedient citizen. But they end up with a vegetable. It was like a horrific consequences end up with, like the results wasn't good at all. How he ends. Yeah, it's a movie that's hard to watch. Even it's really hard to watch that movie.
It is, especially if you're not looking at it for a specific thing. So when I watched it, so I hadn't seen it. So when I watched it, I was so I knew what I was looking for because I had talked to you before. I was like, oh, okay. So I saw the MK Ultra thing. And so they kind of gave you the MK Ultra thing lightweight. So they didn't really get into what MK Ultra was about. They just kind of teased the concept of it. Right? Hold on. Hey Robin, can we talk about that?
Say it again.
Can we talk about MK Ultra at all?
Kind of, sort of, just, kind of, sort of.
Oh.
Like, don't talk about a whole bunch of the GOV and the,
Okay, cool. So, hey, Diablo, are you familiar, like, with the specifics of MK Ultra?
I did some research, actually. Is there a restriction talking about that here? I don't know.
Yeah, so Robin is our TikTok monitor.
Okay.
So she'll let us know what we can and can't talk about, what words we can and can't talk about, where to kind of stay away from, when to change the subject. So she's kind of my hall monitor here to make sure that we keep everything.
Okay, I'll try to be like in general talk. MK Ultra, in reality, it's a government program.
Whoa,
Project was
you said you can't
existed.
We can't talk about the government, right, Rhonda?
We can?
Huh?
Just tiptoe lightly around it.
Right.
That makes sense. Like just flat out saying what he just said. Don't just be blatant about it.
Yeah. So it's a program that's sponsored by,
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The big G.
Yeah.
So they in this program they were studying the mind, the brain of the human. They did some kind of experiment to change people. There is actually a really nice movie about the very same subject called The Manchurian Candidate. It's based on a book. Yeah, The Manchurian Candidate is talking about a soldier, American soldier that have been imprisoned in where did he imprisoned? In South Korea, I think, North Korea, or with the communists. Anyway, it was communist.
I think the Manchurian Candidate, he was at Guantanamo, right?
No, I think you're talking
No,
about
that's
conspiracy theory.
that's the
Oh,
60s. This
Yeah.
came in the 60s. I think it was after the Korean War or World War II. But the story goes that he came back to the United States as a hero, war hero, and he lived his life. One day, out of nowhere, he got activated. That they implanted some kind of programming in his mind, and by mistake, he got activated, and he will go and kill certain people, like government officials and stuff.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You can't say the K word. You have to say unalived.
Unalived. Okay. All right. Wow, that's TikTok. That's why I love Clubhouse.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So yeah, this is basically the MK Ultra goes even far after, like, not just something in the secret. They're talking about Hollywood actors, celebrities that were involved. They've been used in this program. One of the methods they explain one time in a documentary I watched, they were bringing people, putting them in a salty tanks of water, darkness, and they give them some kind of hallucinogenic stuff like LSD and these kind of drugs, and they go in. They were like trying to get remote viewers, people who can go out of their body and have that astro projection and go see far away places and come back. I don't know how successful they were in that, but we know very well that they were successful in controlling the minds. We see that even in the TV shows, in the music industry, in the everything. Like the entertainment business now is based on this project and the studies that they made, because they're doing that on the masses, not anymore like for individual. They don't kidnap somebody and start doing this to him. No, it's been doing through the TV, through the theaters. That reminds me of one of my favorite movies too, Fight Club. I don't know if you guys watch Fight Club.
Yeah, so Fight Club is dope. But here, real quick. Um, so you're talking about, what was the last movie you were talking about?
Manchurian Candidate?
Manchurian Candidate. So there's a TV show based off that. You ever seen Homeland?
No, I didn't see it. I heard about it, but no, I didn't see it.
So that Homeland is a TV show like based off the Manchurian Candidate concept, where he got caught in Afghanistan or was Iraq. What was he at? He might have been Afghanistan or something. The soldier there, and he essentially got brainwashed, right? And so then they sent him back home as a hero, and they sent him home with a plan to infiltrate kind of the establishment in the military. It was Homeland wasn't bad. It was like 5 seasons, but that was the concept, the Manchurian Candidate concept, right? And there've been a few movies like that, right? There've been a few movies like that. What was the one with Denzel? Denzel was in the Manchurian Candidate, right? He was in the remake, right?
I think so. I watched the old one, and read the book actually, but I never watched the 2004 one. I heard there one 2004. I think Denzel was in it.
Yeah, Denzel was in the new one. Okay. Let's see.
would Fight Club be a conspiracy movie, or would it be like a psychological thriller? Or I don't know. How would you say Fight Club is conspiracy?
Kind of conspiracy. One of the thing about the conspiracy on it, the cult culture, how the cult form. The other thing I was mentioning Fight Club for that is, remember Brad Pitt, he started working in the movie theater. So when he was working in the movie theater and Edward Norton was like narrating the story, he said that he used to implant some inappropriate images in the family movies.
See, they do that for real though. They do it in the kids' cartoons. They do it all. That happens.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying even the movie experience is different than the DVD. When you go watch a movie, you never know what you're gonna get. Maybe you are getting like a spill. Actually, it's a risky thing to go to the theater and watch a movie because you never know what they implanted in your mind, in your subconscious while watching. And that movie, I always think about that movie.
Oh, Fight Club, when he talks about how they splice in scenes into movies, they'll put like little SEX scene.
Corn in the movie. Little snippets of corn.
Corn. Really? Hold on, man. I prefer the flashcard method. Hold on. Don't nobody know what the hell corn is.
You can figure out what corn is based on the concept. If you're on TikTok enough, you kind of know what corn is.
I'm not on TikTok enough, so somebody talking about corn.
Not necessarily corn. You might be receiving.
Corn is.
I know what you mean by it. Like you.
I'm talking to everybody else who don't know. People who slow like me, right?
But what I'm saying, they might be implanting a political message. Maybe something religious, maybe something about aliens. You never know what they're implanting in this movie. It doesn't have to be cold.
Yeah, just kind of keeping people on edge. You literally don't know what they're putting up in it. Hey, real quick, hey, everybody hit the like button, man. Did y'all stop hitting the like button? We only at 7,000 likes. Oh my God. We can't start my list till we get to 10. All right, we got to get to 10,000 so we can start my list. So everybody hit the like button. So Fight Club. What else is there? So Fight Club. So there was an element of a psychotic break, right? So what I just watched, Clockwork Orange. Part of the MK Ultra effect, or in real life, part of the MK Ultra thing is sleep deprivation. So stopping people from going to sleep, right? That's a form of torture. I'm sorry, can you say that's a form of enhanced interrogation.
Good job, Lionel.
I know, right? So that's a form of enhanced interrogation, right? So he was inadvertently doing it to himself. And that's kind of where the psychotic break came, when he wouldn't get no sleep, and that enabled the Brad Pitt character to take over. And so you have an element of the MK Ultra thing with that. What else is up in it? I guess the cult thing, right? Showing how to run a cult, right? So talking about the concept of taking down. Hold on, taking down these people. Taking down those people, right? So starting kind of a revolt, right? So remember what they were doing. Remember the ultimate goal was to kind of take down like the credit card companies and stuff like that. So they were sneaking stuff up in there, right? So it wasn't an outright all in all conspiracy movie, but they were sneaking stuff up in there.
There is some hints right here and there.
Yeah, it's a bunch of different hints and stuff. Have you seen, because the first gentleman that was here was talking about Journey to the Center of the Earth. You've seen that?
I did. I think the movie called The Core, right?
No, it's literally called Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Is it the Godzilla one?
No, it's an older one. Hey, Robin, what year did Journey to the Center of the Earth come out?
Not sure. Give me a second. I can look it up.
Yeah, no, it's an older one.
I know it's an old story. It's for Jules Verne, I think, from the 1800s.
Yeah. So you familiar with the concept, the whole inner Earth concept in movies?
Yeah, I've seen it in a couple of movies. There is a movie called The Core. They were talking about that, and it was a weird movie. About the core of Earth is going to stop spinning? I think something like that. Morgan Freeman or Dustin Hoffman was in that movie.
Yeah. I think I've seen that, dude. I think I've seen that when they're
It,
talking about
they did
something
it in a very
suffering.
weird way. Like it makes you feel lonely when they get down all the way to the core. And the core, they show it not as they are explaining in science. It's not just like melting lava. And, they show like there is a cavity and there is places like paths to walk through. There is
Mm,
also a movie. It's one of the Godzilla movie, the new ones, talking
yeah,
about going to the center or the inner Earth.
yeah. Hey, Robin, you see that in the chat? Can you get that, please? Good
Yeah,
job.
I'm trying to. And I say 1959 was the original, then 2008 was the remake.
Oh, okay. That was the Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, so it's been a couple like that. So like you said, Core alluded to that, but with Core, they weren't talking about like an inner Earth though. They didn't allude to like an entire civilization inside the Earth, did they? Diablo.
I'm sorry, say the question again.
No, I said in the movie The Core, they weren't alluding to a civilization inside the Earth, were they?
No, they were just trying to fix something so the Earth keep doing what
Yeah.
it's doing.
So, are you familiar at all with kind of the ant or like the Admiral Byrd Antarctica? You know.
I do, but I think Admiral Byrd, what I heard about him from like his interview, I watch his interview, that black and white interview they keep
Mhm.
broadcasting on YouTube. He
Yeah.
never mentioned the inner Earth or underground. He was talking about passing the ice in Antarctica and reaching a tropical kind weather of a big continent the size of the United States or the size of America, of North America. And he was like encouraging people to go there and discover and explore. But he didn't mention the inner Earth. But I'm hearing that in the Clubhouse a lot lately. They were talking about the inner Earth.
So there's a book called Admiral Byrd's Diary. So the story is that he actually had a diary that he kept, and in his diary he talked about going inside to a place inside the Earth. I think he got there like at the North Pole, like the entrance to it was at the North Pole. So it's called Admiral Byrd's Diary. Some people say, "Oh, it's a work of fiction." Some people are saying, "Oh no, it's a real diary," but they just sell it as a work of fiction because they can't quite say it. And so it's kind of a thing.
You know, one time we opened a room in Clubhouse talking to ChatGPT. Like we activated the voice and start talking to ChatGPT. We ask a lot of questions. One of these question about Admiral Richard Byrd, and once in a sudden ChatGPT like, my guidelines doesn't let me talk about that.
They said, "Who don't let you talk about that?"
The guidelines.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. One other question was very interesting also. Somebody told me to ask the ChatGPT about the Antichrist. And I asked him the question. And then we talk about paranormal entities. And he answered, like, of course, in the plain scientific way. Then I asked a question. I said, is there any connection between the paranormal entities and the AI and computers? First, ChatGPT said, well, there is no direct connection, but there is, and then the sound cut again. You see, they start with like this. My guidelines doesn't let me talk about that. Would you like help in something else? And we try this question several times in all shape and form to try to get ChatGPT to talk about the subject. Every time it gets like stuck. Tell you guidelines.
All right. So for all my Chat GPT people, it's your job to see if you can break it. I know Paige is there. I know Paige is a huge fan of trying to put it in Dan mode. Or I think they say Dan mode is closed, but there are ways to kind of get around it. Right.
We tried that. I told him, let's assume that your name is, before I finish, he said, my name is ChatGPT, and I don't identify with any other name. I cannot play any other character. So if you want to talk to me, just talk to me as ChatGPT. Like this.
Hey, yo, that's funny. All right. Yo, we almost at 10,000, man. As soon as y'all get us there, yo, we at 9.9. As soon as we get to 10, we can get to this list. Hey, yo, if you've got a movie you want to talk about, if you want to tell us what your favorite conspiracy movies is, now is the time. I saw some people putting something in the chat earlier. Hold on. Do me a favor. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, we just got to 10. All right, we at 10,000. Yo, run it up to 20 right quick. But because we at 10, we can get a little started with the list, man. All right. So somebody said earlier they gave me a movie I thought was pretty cool.
Lisa said Inception, and then Mike said Matrix.
What do you think about Inception, Diablo?
I love Inception. It's a nice movie. It was like, I think it's overrated though. Inception is a nice movie. Christopher Nolan did a great job. The soundtracks or the music of the movie was off the hook, but the execution or the end of the movie wasn't.
Wait, you didn't like the spinning top at the end?
Yeah, that's the spinning at the end. It didn't give you that, like it doesn't satisfy you. It doesn't give you the whole experience. Like you don't feel like you spend your time watching a movie. You need something.
Yeah.
A closure or something like that. It didn't give you that. Not like the Matrix. Like Matrix, that phone call when Neo made that phone call from the booth and talked to the Matrix. I know you're scared. I know you're there. This was like a nice conclusion for the first movie. Nolan didn't do it right in the Inception, but the concept is scary, and especially with the AI and the smartphones we have now, and how some companies talking about broadcasting advertisement in your dream, like McDonald's and Pepsi. I heard they're trying to do this. So yeah, it's a scary concept.
So the Inception part, you know what? I was looking at a clip from the WEF, and the lady was talking about how they have the ability to implant false memories. Like she said, it's something that they can do right now. They can implant false memories into people. And so that reminds me of like an Inception concept, right? Where he didn't know if he was in a dream or not. Right. So the whole thing is, I have this memory, but I don't know if it's real. Right. Like I remember it. It's a memory, but I don't know if it's real. And so I think that's kind of the Inception thing. Like that's one of them things, kind of like the MK Ultra discussion, where they're working on it. They do stuff. So that's the other thing. We didn't kind of dig into why. So Clockwork Orange was cool, but they only showed part of the MK Ultra thing, right? So a large part of the MK Ultra thing is a large part of how you fracture somebody's mind. So remember, the MK Ultra thing is you fracturing somebody's mind to the point where you can program one half of it and they can live off the other half. And so a large part of fracturing people's minds, they've discovered is through, hold on, wait, do I have the word? So I don't know if y'all noticed, I got a bunch of cards here. Oh man, I don't have a card for this. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make a card. Okay.
He's making the card. Run the likes up and share the room for us, please.
Yes, please. Run them up, share the room, get us to we're trying to get to the top of the of the recommended, right? So this is the thing that they didn't talk about when they were in the movie, when they were kind of brainwashing them, right? So the SEX, like they didn't talk about that, right? And that's related to in real life, the way that they do that, right, is related to this right here, right? That's what this is for, right? So anybody knows what this conspiracy is, like these two are.
It's glaring. It's glaring, Lionel.
It's glaring. Oh no! Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
I see it. Boom. See?
Oh yeah. No.
So
Yep.
the SEX is related to this right here. So the taking of the children, and so that's why they do it. They're creating MK Ultra candidates. That and the other thing, right? In addition to feeding off of them, they use this. Like if you see, it's what's the lady's name? She's running around. She'll go on any interview that you got, talking about how she was taken and put in kind of the MK Ultra program, and so she was passed around. It's the black chick. I think her name's Allie Carter. That's her name. So she talks about that a bunch, about how that was done to her. And so that's one of the ways that they kind of MK Ultra you, right? That's one of the easiest, most consistent ways to kind of get people, especially children, to create a break in their brain, to fragment it. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking about that, Lionel, did you notice that lately we see celebrities look alike a lot? Like there is Del Toro and Brad Pitt. They look like a twin, and there is more than one actor. They are like they have twins.
So I got a couple. Hold on, I'm gonna show you some. So I was going to actually talk about this. I'm glad you brought it up because this is one of the things I was going to talk about on here. But even before I knew you was coming on here, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about. How they have it's like everybody looks alike. Here, let me find I gotta find the link. Anybody that's watched my live my lives on other platforms know I got a billion tabs up, but that's not going to stop me from finding this because I have it. I just don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it goes right here. All right, hold on. Let me turn this around. I'll turn my screen around so you can see this. All right, and then I have to take effect off. Yo, so you see this? Right. So, can you see it?
Yep. What is this? Is it genetic engineering or like baby ranch?
No. So, I don't think it's genetic engineering. It's more of they have an archetype for what they want to see. And so I think they'll find somebody that's close to what they want to see. And then that's why I think they get a lot of plastic surgery. Because Hollywood likes archetypes. They like lookalikes. You know what I'm saying? So they try to make people look like the last person. If you want Russell Crowe, but Russell Crowe is either getting old or he's charging too much, then you get somebody that looks like Russell Crowe, and then you make him look like Russell Crowe, right? Like you couldn't have told me these two dudes wasn't the same dude. There's no way you couldn't have told me them wasn't the same dude.
Hell, I thought they were the same dude. Shit, my bad.
Brad Pitt and Benicio del Toro, they are the same age, they look alike too much too. I have a different theory in that, Renel. My theory is these people are being raised from a certain bloodline or certain genes, like what they're doing to the plants, what they're doing to the horses, breeding. So they're breeding a certain type of people
Allegedly.
to use them in the movies.
You know what? So I've heard that before, right? So is it easier to breed people that look alike, or is it easier to find somebody that kind of looks alike and then just give them plastic surgery? All right. So one of the things, you know what? One of the things I think we give them a lot of credit, especially in like the conspiracy circles, right? So we just have this thought that these people have, like, they got so much power, so much technology, they're so smart. Just assume that they're capable of any and everything, and that they'll go through whatever, whatever the length is to make something happen. And what I found in looking at things throughout the years, like in all the rabbit holes I've been in, is that they don't. They're actually really lazy. They have scripts that they run. They have plays that they run. They hey, you ever seen Remember the Titans? The movie Remember the Titans with Denzel? You ever see that?
Yeah.
No.
So remember when the dude came in, the new coach came in, and he was like, "Yo, where's your playbook, your offensive playbook?" And he was like, he gave him one sheet of paper, and he was like,
Jump in.
"Huh?"
Did Parsa just jump in? Is that Parsa?
Parsons right there.
Okay.
Yeah, so he popped in, and I mean, so he gave him the one sheet of paper, and he was like, "Yo, this kind of light." And he was like, "Well, yeah, I only run 6 plays. I call it the Novocaine offense, right? 6 plays. If you run it right, they always work." These people run the Novocaine offense. They do. They got about 5 plays, 5 or 6 plays, and they just keep doing it over and over again, right? They'll disguise it, they'll package it differently, but it's essentially the same plays over and over and over again. And once you see it, you already know what's coming. That's why a lot of people, like in the conspiracy community, they'll be like, "Oh no, I know what's about to happen." It's not because they psychic. It's because this is what they did it before. They did it 20 years ago. They did it 30 years before that. They did it 60 years, and it's the same move over and over again. They do the same move over and over again. I promise you. Like, they don't need to breed people and all that. They don't. All they got to do is get you to get plastic surgery. Right? It's so simple. It's scary. So they do something real simple and then tell you that they did something spectacular, and they make it seem like, "Oh yeah, we jump timelines. We cut on CERN, and so we opened the portal and we jump timelines." And that's why you don't see that's why the Bernstein Bears is the Berenstain Bears now. That's why the Monopoly guy don't have a monocle. That's why Fruit of the Loom don't have a cornucopia. Like, it's the portal that we opened because of CERN. Nope. It's as simple as they work with the companies to make people think they're crazy. It's the ultimate gaslight. It's wild. You know what I'm saying? It's wild.
So you're saying there's no Mandela effect?
No, not at all. It's the ultimate gaslight. It's these people. Oh no. It's these people. I don't know if y'all can see this. Hold on. I got the. Yeah. It's these people working with corporations to change things and then pretend like they didn't change things. Right? That's it. And then being like, "Man, we don't know what happened." And then they'll put out some fake conspiracy people to be like, "Oh my God, we jumped timelines. You know, they cut CERN on." And then when they cut CERN on, all of a sudden, Mandela had died in 93, but then he didn't die. Like, nah, bro.
Okay, so what about the Star Trek one, the Beam Me Up Scotty?
What about it? So
That never existed?
So it may have existed somewhere. Like, it may have existed in a joke, in a movie probably said it, a parody. Like, it may have existed somewhere, but that doesn't mean that it was said in the movie.
There is one, I'm sure I lived it personally. You know, all the song for Britney Spears, "Oops, I Did It Again." That song, I swear, I used to have the DVD at that time. She used to have a headset and a microphone while filming the video. And you can't find it anywhere right now. But one time I watched a program about it, like a documentary. They were talking about that. They found some Halloween custom from the early 2000s that when you buy the custom, the same like what that latex, the red latex she's wearing, it comes with the headset. Right now, you don't see the headset in the video clip.
I can believe it. So again, they reshoot videos. They shoot multiple versions of videos. Like, it happens. I have seen.
You're saying they are doing this to play with us? Like they're playing with people's minds?
No, they're not playing at all. So they're doing it to cover up what they're really doing. What they're really doing is erasing the internet. They're getting rid of facts and things that people are putting on the internet. They're erasing the internet in real time. And to cover it up, they're hitting you with, they're promoting a fake Mandela effect. Like they're going through just like, excuse me, just like, and they're doing it for the purpose of changing history. So I'm trying to think, how do I say this? There was an event that happened in 1918, 1917, something like that, right? Where a lot of people got ill, right? And so when you look at the history books, they tell us that, oh, it was a big event caused by a virus. Yeah, and a lot of people were unalived because of the illness. When in fact, the entire thing was caused by, hold on, I have a card for this. Wait, I need to do something with my cards. Oh, here. The entire thing was caused by this, right? So it's a big event that happened in 1917, 1918, where they said millions of people didn't make it, right? And they tell you it was caused by, you know, the little V things, but in real life it was caused by the gene therapy. It was a gene therapy even back then, right? That they were testing out, and they were also using some pesticides, right? And that caused a lot of problems. And so, but today when you look it up, they don't tell you about the gene therapy that they were using. They don't tell you about the pesticides. All they tell you about is the V that they say was infecting everybody. Allegedly, right? So, and so that's how they edit history in real life. And so even now, in 50 years from now, when people look at the internet about what happened from 2020 on, that whole time period, they're going to see the made up events. They're not going to see the real events. They're going to see the manufactured history, what they didn't delete off the internet. And so the Mandela effect is the conspiracy that they use to cover up the fact that they're changing history on the internet. History is being edited right in front of your face. And you're so busy looking at the fake Mandela effect thing that they give you that you don't see that they're changing the actual history.
There is actually a very interesting documentary made, and I think it's on YouTube too, called The Dead Internet Theory. Have you watched that?
I've heard about the dead internet.
It's suggesting that we are living now in a dead internet world. Like the internet died completely in 2017, and everything we see right now is fake and superficial. Like, for example, he made an experiment. I love that experiment. He said, we're gonna look up a word in Google, the most common word in the world, pizza. and we're gonna see what Google is gonna tell us about pizza. So he put the word, hit search, gave him like 5 million or 5 billion result. He started looking through the results, the first page, the second page. After that, it's all like repeating the same thing, and it's all advertisement more than anything else. And he reached the page 35. At page 35, that's it. So he counted how many results he got. He got almost like 500 results only, not 5 million or 5 billion. So they're lying in front of you.
So that's true. Everything you just said is true, because there's a setting in your browser that does that. And so you have to go in and cut that setting off. It's something like take off repeating results or something like that. And so if you want to know how to not happen, there's a video on how to not make that happen. So you're going to go in your settings and take that off and cut that off. But yeah, you're right. They're not 5 million results. You're going to get about maybe 10 pages, and then it just repeats. Right? It just repeats because they don't want you. They don't want you looking at all those things.
He hit like a closed door after 35 pages. No more results, even repeated, nothing.
Facts. 100% facts. Hey, you ever seen Arlington Road? What'd you say?
So what happened to this list?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to it. Oh, yeah, let's just go ahead. My bad. We went off on a tangent, man. My bad. But we were talking about
real quick though. But for the Mandela effect, so you think the Nelson Mandela died in prison thing, that's also fake or what?
No, I think a reporter accidentally reported it wrong. So
people said they saw him in jail dying. They saw they saw multiple reports and all that.
So again, I remember the report, but then I also remember all the reports that they get wrong. Right?
Personally, I remember Nelson Mandela in the news. I was a kid at that time in Jordan, but we saw that in the news that Nelson Mandela is out of prison, people cheering for him, and he's dancing. I've seen that with my own eyes too.
Yeah, I remember. So the reason that the Mandela effect name resonates with me because I remember the story about him not coming out of prison because he was unalived. And then I remember that, he was alive. And I was like, man, I thought maybe I was wrong. Maybe I dreamt that. I don't know. So I remember all of that, Parsa. And so just knowing what I know about these people, it was a mistake. And now they're, what's that? Never let a good tragedy go to waste. And so they'll use stuff like that. Right. All right. So yeah, let's get to the list because, Robin reminded me that we do have a list to get to. So Jamila is in the chat giving us some of her favorites. Hey, Diablo, you ever seen Arlington Road?
Not sure. No, I have to look it up to see if I watched it.
It's got, I want to say Jeff Bridges. It's Jeff Bridges. It's Tim Robbins. Jeff Bridges, Tim Robbins, and I forget it's somebody else. But it's about this dude who is a college professor, and his wife was a FBI agent, and she was at Ruby Ridge. You know what Ruby Ridge is, right?
No.
You don't know what Ruby Ridge? So you know what Waco is? Like the event that happened in Waco? When the 3-letter agency went to a compound. Like it was a bunch of people that just want to be left
alone. That's in Texas?
Yeah.
That happened in Texas. Yeah, I know the story, yes.
So it was a story just like that at Ruby Ridge. And so the 3-letter agencies went to a compound where people just wanted to be left alone. So as they approached, they unalived a dog, and so a little boy went running off, and they unalived him. And so the people inside saw that the three-letter agencies were attacking, and so that they had did something to the dog and the little boy, and so they armed themselves and they fought back. And so in the movie, the main character's wife was there, right? And he, part of his thing in class when he was teaching was always to teach about how the government was at fault, right? And so it was showing because I don't want to give it away. So if you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. I mean, great movie. You want to break a movie down, bro? You should watch this tonight. And tomorrow you'll be doing the Clubhouse room on it. All right?
I will. I just look it up and it's 1999. I want to say something about this year in specific. If you go and see what movies have been made in 1999.
Was that the Matrix year?
The Matrix year, Fight Club, Eyes Wide Shut, Memento.
Memento.
American Beauty. It's the year of the good movies. 1999 is like a special year in Hollywood was. You can't count them. How many movies that are worth watching and stand the test of time, actually.
Yeah, no. So you just named a bunch of movies that was dope. But if you haven't seen Arlington Road, it's showing how homegrown. I can't say that word. I can't say the T word, can I, Robin? All right, hold on. Gotta write it down. How homegrown Bin Laden's. I can't say that now. I don't even want to do that today.
Yeah, this is so funny with the censorship.
Can't say that either.
Damn.
Crazy.
Right. You can't say censorship?
Yeah, you can't say the BL. Yeah.
So it's showing how homegrown T words are made, right? It's showing literally how they're made. And so when you look at Arlington Road, and then you look at what happened in Oklahoma City, it's the same thing. When you look at what happened with Martin Luther King, same thing. Malcolm X, same thing. Like, this is how they do it. It's showing you their playbook. Because there was literally there was a story about the Michigan, that happened in Michigan, right? Where these guys got acquitted of trying to unalive, of a plot to unalive the governor. And it was discovered that they were set up. The entire thing was set up. Huh?
Movie or this really happened?
No, this really happened.
Oh, okay.
It really happened. It's a story in Michigan about how I gotta keep certain on hand. The big G's. Yeah, here we go. How the big G's literally recruited, planned out, armed, and forced these guys into a plot. Right? The big G did it all. Wait. The big G did it all. These guys didn't do any of it. And at some point they were trying to pull out. They were like, "No, we don't really want to do this." And they were coerced into doing it, despite having no money, no training, no access to nobody. Like, they literally were created. Right? And so look up the story in Michigan about they were acquitted and they claimed entrapment. They claimed that the big G entrapped them. If you've never seen this, go look it up. And so that's what Arlington Road is about. And so Arlington Road was in 99, so they're showing you that they was doing this before 99.
Yeah, of course. Actually, these three-letter agencies, let's say 95% of the people they arrest, they created from scratch. They create them and they keep nurturing them, working with them until the the moment, and they go and arrest them, and they will claim victory, like we arrested somebody that is bad and dangerous. But they created that person from the beginning. I know a lot of stories, from my background. I was interested in this stuff. There is a lot of sad stories about people have been, because they are weak. They are people on their own, like minding their own business, and then get approached by something supernatural. They will think that they're being approached by God or somebody, a messenger from God, but they are being played by the three-letter agencies.
Always. Hey, Robin, can Hess write that in the chat?
Probably not. Let me go ahead and erase it.
Yeah, Hess, you trying to get us taken down. My bad, Linnell. I cannot write that. No, especially not coming from your IP address, Hess. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all right, so what was that? She said Arlington Road, Aaron Brockovich. You ever seen Aaron Brockovich? Hey, y'all can put y'all favorite conspiracy movies in the chat, y'all. Put them in the chat. You seen Aaron Brockovich, bro?
No, I haven't seen that one.
So Aaron Brockovich was about it was a corporation that was polluting the water in like this small town in Texas, and they were covering it up.
Is it John Travolta movie?
No, it's
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Right, Julia Roberts. All right, so hey, somebody put in the chat a classic one. They Live. What you think about They Live, bro?
Oh yeah, They Live. It's a classic. Everybody have to watch They Live. It's kind of like putting the blueprints for the conspiracy.
It is. So They Live. Yo, has anybody not seen They Live? So, in terms of a movie, it was meh, but the concept was real. And so it goes with, if you ever heard the clip I played with Dick Gregory talking about the magic glasses, like, yo, when the universe picks you to wear the magic glasses, right, you can never take them off. And so it's literally about a pair of magic glasses. And how when you wear the magic glasses, you see life for what it really is. Right? Here, let me go through. You know what? Let me go through this list and you tell me if you've seen any of these. All right. So I got a list. Yo, anybody else got any movies they want to talk? So, while I read the list, if y'all got some stuff y'all want to put in the chat, let me know. But I do have a list. Y'all welcome. Hey, yo, what's that? Oh, has they let you re-up? I thought they banned you from buying gifts. Let me see. I thought you said they banned you. They would not let me buy any more gifts. Oh, they just let you now. Okay, cool. All right, so anybody that's around my podcast knows how this goes. So this is the top 25, all right, essential conspiracy movies. All right, so let's see. All right, Diablo, you ever seen Soylent Green?
No, I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna look it up right now. Soylent Green?
Soylent Green. Here, let me read you the synopsis of it. And I'm gonna try to read the synopsis without violating. So Soylent Green says everyone knows the twist at the heart of Richard Fleischer's adaptation of Harry Harrison's Make Room, Make Room. If you don't, we won't spoil it for you. We'll talk about it in a minute. The climactic revelation is so powerful, it sometimes overshadows the movie leading up to it. Well, if they're not going to say what it's about, then I might just say what it's about. So it's about them essentially they're feeding, like they liquefy the dead and they use it to fertilize I think they feed it to people. They feed like they liquefy the dead. Oh shit! They liquefy unalive people. Robin, you gotta remind me.
Thank you.
They liquefy unalive people. I know. Thank you, Hess. And they feed them to the living. Right? They use the nutrients in the unalive people to nourish the alive people. So it's pretty much about. So it's not so much cannibals, but it's them normalizing consuming unalive people is what it's about. Right? It's called Soylent Greens, and it's one of the
Uh,
things they do now. Like it's
I
a real.
like what IMDb saying about the movie. They're saying a nightmarish futuristic fantasy about the controlling power of big corporations, and an innocent cop stumbles on the truth. That was cool.
Yeah. So, number 25 on the list is Soylent Greens. If you haven't seen it, yeah, nightmarish is correct. Nightmarish is correct. All right. We had 20,000. Oh, I think we had 20,000. Hey, yo, y'all lit, man. So congratulations to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's go. Keep going to 30, man. We almost at the we almost getting up there. All right, so yeah, that's Soylent Green. It's and the reason that it's interesting to me is because it's what they're doing now. So they actually have a thing. I read an article. Robin, did you see that article where they're actually trying to do this? Where they're trying to liquefy unalive people and use that to.
Oh hell no! I have not heard that or read that article.
It's actually the same concept in the Matrix. They were liquefying the passed away people and giving them to the.
Exactly. Hold
Did
on.
that too on Snowpiercer with the
Yep.
bars of food that they were eating.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let me see. So there's actually, hold on, wait.
Post the article, Lionel.
Huh?
Don't post the article.
No. I'm not gonna post the article. I was just gonna read. I was gonna read. There's like a smoothie or something called Soylent Green. So yeah, go to Soylent.com. There's like some called Soylent.com. Yeah. Salud juice. They got something called Soylent Green, like a drink.
Goodness.
Yeah, I know, right? And so, can I say the? Hold on. And then, not to mention, so you got that, and then you got the. Hold on. Can I say the C word? Like cannibal? Can I say that?
I don't know how you're saying it.
Well, I want to talk about the Cannibal Club in LA.
I guess so.
All right, cool. Hey, TikTok. Remember, Robin gave me the okay to say it, so don't get mad at me if you're gonna do anything. Suspend Robin. But yeah, no.
All the words. I don't know all the words. So if y'all know some more, let me know.
All right. So, but no, they do this in real life, right? So and they're trying to normalize feeding the unalived to people. Hold on, wait. Dude, I was on the wrong bad guy. Wait. Add to. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Where's it go? The chemicals product. Oh, wait. What was it? Hold on. I got it. Wait. Because it's something that they put in food. One could call it involuntary C word, or you could use the term Soylent Green from a classic dystopian film about human beings. Back in 2019, we were all warned human composting was legalized in the state of Washington in Bill 5001 entitled Concerning Human Remains, that legalized the natural organic reduction of human remains.
Tap dancing. You tap dancing on the line, I think, my friend.
Okay, fine. It says, no, we're not talking about gelatin here. Where the warped American food industry reduces certain animals' cartilage, right? Let me see if I can just get to. Let me see. Alkaline hydrolysis, aka aquamation, reduces people's bodies for fertilizing food, watering crops, and calcium phosphate for cheap supplements. Okay, so this is in real life. So they reduce people's bodies to a liquefied state called aquamation, and they use it for fertilizing food, watering crops, and as filler in cheap supplements. So this is literally Soylent Green. Have you ever heard about that, Diablo?
No, actually, I'm surprised. That's crazy.
Oh, baby. So yeah, the term is alkaline hydrolysis. Alkaline hydrolysis. All right, if y'all want to look it up, that's what it's called. All right. So yeah, look at the movie Soylent Green and know it's happened in real life. All right, it's here. Okay. Let's see. All right, so that was number 25. All right, where's the rest of my list at? All right, number 24. All right, conspiracy movies. I know you've seen this one. Number 24 is National Treasure. Seen that one?
Yes, Nicolas Cage, a great movie.
Nicolas Cage, exactly. So it says a conspiracy theory movie for the whole family. National Treasure stars Nicolas Cage as a historian / professional treasure hunter, Benjamin Franklin Gates, who decides to steal the Declaration of Independence. His intentions are pure, however, and allow him to discover a map on the back leading to a fortune stashed away by Freemasons. A fixture of countless conspiracy theories, but as in 2007, the sequel, National Treasure, Book of Secrets, the conspiracy itself is pretty benign, even patriotic. The bad guys are those seeking to exploit it for their own gain, not America's. What you think about a National Treasure? Like, if you ever did a breakdown of that, or just kind of...
Actually, I think National Treasure is a very smart adaptation of Da Vinci Code, American one.
What came out first?
I think Da Vinci Code came in 2003. National Treasure, I think, after.
Okay.
Kid-friendly version of the kid-friendly version.
What, Da Vinci Code?
National Treasure will be the kid-friendly version of Da Vinci
Code. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, family friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. So Da Vinci Code, and then part 2 of Da Vinci Code was what, Angels and Demons?
It's not basically part 2, but he's using Robert Langdon, that hero or that main character. He's using it in different missions.
Mm-hmm.
He's go crack codes, but it doesn't have to be related. The bad guy here is different than the bad guy here.
But it was both Tom Hanks, though, right?
Yeah, he likes Tom Hanks. The directors like Tom Hanks, but even in the book, like what's his name, Dan Brown, he used a character called Langdon. Yeah, I just say it, Langdon. Yeah, he used this character all the time in all his books.
Oh, okay.
And he's like a professional or expert in codes and ancient symbolism. And he keep putting himself in trouble, and he have to save the world at the end of the story.
That's funny. 23, we were just talking about Conspiracy Theory from 1997. Let's see. It might seem weird to think of a paranoid thriller as being a product of more innocent time, but consider this: to disseminate his wild theories about militias and the UN and the Vietnam War and whatever else crossed his mind, conspiracy theorist propagandist Jerry Fletcher, played by Mel Gibson, uses a newsletter that he physically mails to followers who actively choose to subscribe to it. In 1997, if not for much longer, conspiracy theorists still had to work hard to get their message out, and then struggled to reach beyond a self-selecting bunch of like-minded individuals. And consider this: Gibson had already had a reputation for being something of a conspiracy-addled kook in the mid-90s. It said, thanks to some wild ideas that he had about Rhodes Scholars being tools of the New World Order. Can I say New World Order, Robin?
I would stay away from it.
The Now.
Yeah. You say something?
I said you can call it The Now.
Yeah, the Now. There you go. Yeah, or the OWN. OWN backwards. So NWA was OWN backwards. So yeah, the OWN. But he hadn't yet picked up the violent, hateful. Now they just disparaging Mel Gibson now. Let's see. Directed by Richard Donner, the film is best mildly diverting as entertainment, but it's an intriguing time capsule of a moment when conspiracy theories still felt marginal enough to be kind of amusing. Dude, they're longing for a time when we were like separated and couldn't coalesce around specific things. They're like, oh man, remember when conspiracy theorists were just kind of kooky and funny? That's what this movie was. Instead of being true about everything they said, instead of kind of warning us about everything. I don't know. But yeah.
Nobody want to listen how they're going to get their message. It's been hard. And now maybe it's easier and people don't believe it. They don't want to believe it.
You're right. They don't want to listen. But they get mad when you hit them with the I told you so. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is number 22. You ever heard of that one?
No. This one.
Huh? All right. So it says National Treasure. So this is 1977. So National Treasure served as one of the generation's introduction to the idea of cover-ups and hidden truths. The predecessors got the first glimpse of the world via Steven Spielberg's Jaws follow-up, in which a group of extraterrestrials upend the lives of a bunch of unsuspecting Earthlings as they prepare to make first contact. Although ultimately optimistic, the film puts its characters, primarily an ordinary Indiana Electric Company employee played by Richard Dreyfuss and a single mom played by Melinda Dillon, through a ringer as they have to deal with not only alien visitors, but government determined to take extreme measures to keep information about those visitors secret. The real threat comes not from the skies, but from anonymous suit-clad agents who do not want the truth spilled out. So this is kind of a pro-alien propaganda thing. All right. You big on aliens, Diablo?
Not much. No, that's the thing. I was going to comment that because of the flat earth thing, those alien movies, anything about space became like irrelevant.
Facts. These are facts. So whenever I see, like, I'm looking at lists like this, whenever I see them talking about, oh, the aliens are coming, I'm like, propaganda. Wholehearted propaganda. All right, let's see where we at. All right, so Close Countess. This is an interesting one. You ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I saw that one.
Diablo, you seen that?
I didn't see it, but I'm looking it up now. Who Framed?
So, I don't even know if you like this one. So, it's a mixture of cartoons interacting with people.
Can you say the name again one more time?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Ah,
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Hey man, shout out to everybody here hanging out with us, man. I appreciate y'all hanging. Yo, put your favorite conspiracy movies in the chat, man. Let's see what y'all got. Or if you want to come up and talk about it, you can always raise your hand or hit the join button. I'll bring you up. We'll talk it out. Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit it was okay. I could see it's more of like a who done it though.
yeah, I watched this one, but I never think of it as conspiracy movie. Now I'm gonna look at it with
I
different
wouldn't think
eyes.
it was conspiracy either. Like,
Yeah, me neither.
I think that's a stretch.
I agree. Even at 21 on the list, it's still kind of a stretch to me, right? So we'll move on to number 20. All right, it's from 1973. It's called Executive Action. I thought there was a newer movie called Executive Action. Maybe it's Executive Decision with Kurt Russell. Let's see. So it says it's hard to direct anything but faint praise towards the granddaddy of all Kennedy assassination movies. But this Dalton Trumbo scripted docudrama, taken from a story by playwright Donald Friedman and Rush to Judgment author Mark Lane, it remains a fascinating document of a particular moment of conspiratorial thinking. Mixing documentary footage with reenactments and dramatic scenes, not unlike the later, more famous Kennedy assassination movie, Executive Action wastes no time establishing who unalived Kennedy. It opens on a secret meeting of conservative titans played by the familiar face Burt Lancaster and a bunch of other people. All eventually agree that Kennedy has to be taken out because of his support for civil rights, his plan to end the war in Vietnam, and other perceived inconveniences. The rest of the film meticulously lays out how the plan unfolds. What you know about the Kennedy event?
There is a documentary I really liked it lately called "Everything Is a Rich Man Trick."
Yeah,
It's talking about the Kennedy thing in details, which I found very convincing. Like matching the video we watch, because the mainstream story, if you can come and compare it to the video, we see the famous video for him when he's getting unalived. You're going to see that it contradicts with what you see with your own eyes. That documentary saw that the sniper was in the gutters under the ground.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was nice about that. A nice documentary about Kennedy thing, and it's a mystery. Some people, even in the Arab world, they say, this conspiracy theory. It's a term came after Kennedy.
It did.
It exists before though. Like in the movie, we watch Doctor Strangelove. They were talking about the conspiracy that the communists adding fluoride to the American water to harm people.
Mm-hmm.
So the conspiracy has been always there. I think it's planted with World War I.
So the word conspiracy has always been around, but the term conspiracy theorist was used, like the CIA, like they coined the term as a way to demonize people who are questioning what happened to Kennedy.
They made it a stigma on people.
Exactly. That's when they started demonizing the term. Right. So yeah, you're right. In the movie, they definitely talked about it, but the CIA coined the phrase and started throwing it around as a pejorative term for people who are like, "Hey, man, something don't seem right about that." Right? Have you seen the video where the driver turns around and finishes Kennedy off?
Yes, this is when he made sure that everything went exactly as it planned.
Yeah,
Because
and
he got something and he felt in pain, like he leaned into the shoulder of his wife. Then he got the right blow that exploded everything.
Yeah, and that's when she started climbing out the car. After the driver turned around, she started climbing out the car. Right? So I wish Todd was here. So one of my homeboys says that that's the event that is the nexus of all conspiracies. Like every conspiracy can be traced back to the JFK event, right? And every conspiracy is related to the JFK event, right? So, like the Lee Harvey Oswald worked in a lab that was responsible for weaponizing cancer. Did you know that? You ever heard that before?
Can you explain more about that?
Yeah. So, what's the name of the book? There's a book. So essentially, I'm gonna give you the quick and crude. Essentially, there was this young girl. There was this high school girl. She figured out how to supercharge the C. Robin, can I say cancer on here?
Depends on what you're saying about it.
All right. So I'll just say the big casino. So he figured out a way how to supercharge the big casino to where it can be fatal within 30 days. Okay. So she did this as an experiment, a high school experiment. The government came to her and said, "Hey, we want you to come and work for us."
G.
Oh, I'm sorry. The big G came and said to her, "I want you to come and work for us and show us how to do that thing." And so she came to work with another lady, and they were working on perfecting the process of how to supercharge the big casino. And it just so happens Lee Harvey Oswald. So you seen the movie? Did you see JFK, the movie, the Oliver Stone movie?
Yes.
So remember the Joe Pesci character, the Baldwin. They were saying, "Oh, he was this weird scientist dude. He was working with some stuff involving cancer." Remember that?
Yeah.
So in real life, that's what he was working on. He was working with this little girl and this other lady, and they were working on ways to weaponize the big casino. So that was true. And so they got the little girl to show them how to weaponize it to make it deadly within 30 days. And so Lee Harvey Oswald was a bodyguard for the girl. All right. So
that's in real life.
In real life. This is a real life story. And so essentially what they were trying to do was they perfected the method of making it to where the big casino could take somebody out in 30 days. And so they were going to use this on Castro. The plan was to use this on Castro. Allegedly. Okay? And so it was several things that had to happen. You had to figure out a way to, one, get it in them, right? And so they were going to use like a cigar, or they were going to have like a doctor or somebody kind of infect him, and then they were going to keep radiating him because in order for it to be in order for it to be effective so fast, to take people out in 30 days, you had to keep radiating them, right? And if you do it several times over a month span, then the host wouldn't last over a month. And so they perfected the process, and they perfected the process, but they never got a chance to do it on Castro. However, remember when Jack Ruby took Oswald out? You know what I'm talking about? So
vaguely the movie, no.
So Jack Ruby was then taken to the police station. He was sat in the police station, and he was interviewed by a gentleman by the name of Jolly West. You ever heard the name Jolly West before?
No.
Jolly West is the gentleman in charge of the MK Ultra program. So Jolly West came to interview Jack Ruby after he finished off Oswald. Then, so after Jolly West, so when he went in, Jack Ruby was a complete sane person. He was regular. When he left out, Jack Ruby was on the floor in the fetal position, a mumbling fool. Right? So the head of the MK Ultra program goes to see Jack Ruby after he finishes off Oswald. And after a 45-minute conversation, he's left a babbling idiot. And not only is he left a babbling idiot, but right after that, he's diagnosed with cancer. And 30 days after his cancer diagnosis...
Know what happened?
Right? 30 days after his cancer diagnosis, he is no more. So you had the Kennedy conspiracy coinciding with the MK Ultra, right? Coinciding with the weaponization of the big casino. Like, all of that came about. And you know who the agent in charge in Dallas was that day that it happened? Huh? Allegedly. Do you know who the agent in charge was, Diablo?
No.
Bush Sr. was the agent in charge that day.
They mentioned his name in that movie, in that documentary I told you about.
They did?
Yeah, he was a big player.
Yes.
So what was his role again? Yes. What was his role?
He was the agent in charge. He was the agent in charge of the operation. And then shortly, not too long after that, he became the head man at the three-letter agency. So yeah, like I said, the JFK event is a nexus. Like, you can connect a lot of stuff back to the JFK event. Like, it's a thing. All right. I think Great Poseidon said something in the chat. Hold on. He said something a little bit ago. He said something about what movie did you say, Great Poseidon? White House Down. You seen White House Down, Diablo?
Yeah, I watched that one. It was nice. It was a nice movie, entertaining.
So in terms of conspiracy value, what'd you think? Anything up in there that's of importance?
Honestly, I didn't see it this way. I saw it as it's like a political reaction, but it's not deep meaning. It was at the time tension with Korea, and so was a flex, like something hot in the theater.
All right, let's see. Let's see. So, oh yeah, we were talking about executive action. So it also says that, let's see. It says executive action stirred up considerable controversy in the early 70s, with many critics arguing the whole project was in poor taste. Its tastefulness remains an open question, but the film is a perfect encapsulation of how quickly conspiracy theories attach themselves to the Kennedy assassination. It also captures how Kennedy's death came to symbolize a moment everything went wrong for a whole generation. No, it was a nexus point. There's a TV show called 11/22/63. Anybody ever seen that? 11/22/63. It's a TV.
I haven't.
It's a TV show called. It's only like, I think it's only like 2 seasons, but essentially, the premise is that the Kennedy event was the nexus of our history. Like everything revolved around that event. So it's about this dude going back in time to try to stop it, and every time he goes back to try to stop it, something worse happens. So it's pretty interesting. But let's see. The film's shadowy conspirators provide viewers with villains at once detestable and comfortingly familiar. Of course, these anonymous men who meet in secret to maintain the status quo are the bad guys. They're always the bad guys, and the bad guys are in business of cutting down those who challenge the system, a notion confirmed by subsequent deaths of Robert Kennedy, Luther King, Malcolm X, and others. So they're trying to say that, nothing, it's just conspiracy theories, no worries. Rebel Ridge, anybody? So this is a new one. This is from this year. What do you think about it? What do you think about it, Robin?
I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, this just army movie, like, just action, whatever. But after I watched it again, I was like, okay, it's not really that bad. It was kind of good. I liked it better the second time I watched it.
All right. What about the conspiracy aspect of it? What's in there that's of note?
How the Big G uses its own people to carry out goals and agendas, and will set their own people up in the lists that they'll go to kind of hide it.
Cool. Number 18. I know you've seen this one, Diablo. Wag the Dog.
One of the best, yeah. This is one of the best, and like explaining the politics in a very funny way and accurate, actually. It could be exactly just like this, or this story could exactly happen as it is.
No, ain't no could. I think it does. Have you seen video of what's going on overseas in those conflicts? Like whenever you see video, dude, I've seen fake videos. I've seen people calling things, saying that, oh yeah, this happened yesterday, and then somebody's like, no, this actually happened 3 years ago or 4 years ago. It's something way different. So for those that don't know here, let me read what Wag the Dog is about in case you ain't seen it. Wag the Dog is amazing in terms of kind of what he just said, right? So how accurate it is, and how the things in Wag the Dog happen today. So let me read the synopsis. Larry Beinhardt's 1993 novel American Hero takes place in a world in which Operation Desert Storm was fought to boost the political fortunes of George H.W. Bush. Wag the Dog takes the premise a step further. What if a political plagued president running for re-election led the country to victory in a war that never happened? Complete with heart-rending stories, hard-fighting heroes, and even a theme song.
Yeah.
Bruh. I say this all the time. So we're looking at footage from the Ukraine conflict. And I say all the time, how do I know this footage is real? Because a lot of that footage is sketch. Even right now, when they're talking about how Ukraine fired missiles into Russia, and I ask people, I'm like, yo, has anybody ever seen any credible footage of Russia being hit anywhere? Like, there's no credible footage of this at all. It's just stories on the news, like in the news.
And the news is controlled by several people, like a handful of people only on the whole world. All news, all resources we get, we cannot see what they don't want us to see. Simple as that. I remember there was a bad video one time of something horrible happened in Iceland, yeah, New Zealand, New Zealand. And this video have surfaced, they start like people sharing it in Facebook and in WhatsApp. Suddenly, even if you have the video, you cannot send it in WhatsApp as a private message. You can't. You can't share it, you can't upload it, you can do nothing with it. But still in the phone. Maybe they have the capability even to take it out of your phone if they want to. I'm sure if they don't have that now, they will have it soon. You know about the content moderators and what they do.
So I remember during the lockdowns, I was trying to share. So I had this video that I screen recorded because I didn't want to lose it, and I was trying to upload it to my own personal private YouTube, and YouTube wouldn't let me upload it. They kept saying this video violates terms of service, agreements, misinformation, also extra bull. So they literally won't, like, they scan the videos and they won't let you upload stuff. Like, it's wild.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That the YouTube, when you upload something, there is that processing time. It's basically the AI is watching your video and making sure it. And also, if the video have been copied in any way or even taken screen recording from any other video, they can recognize that.
They can. Hester says they can delete things from your phone. So she says it's already a thing. They can delete things from your phone. How come they can't delete this YouTube album off my phone? That's wild. You know what?
This damn YouTube album being on my Apple playlist.
I know. So the thing is, and this kind of goes to what Hester just said, if they can put stuff on your phone without you knowing, then they can take stuff off your phone without you knowing. Right?
And I bet you they do, but maybe they don't do it in massive scales because they don't need to. And they don't scan everybody. I don't think they are in everybody's phone. It's just like they get candidates and those people have been focused on, not everybody.
Let me see. So we're talking about how they faked the war and wagged the dog. Says to pull it off, it will take the combined efforts of a shadowy fixer, Robert De Niro, a presidential aide, Anne Heche. I know what y'all remember about Anne Heche. And an ego-driven Hollywood producer, Dustin Hoffman. Watched with way too much scrutiny, and Wag the Dog falls apart pretty quickly. But as a satire of image and soundbite-driven politics, and the ease with which misinformation can drown out the truth, it's as clever as it is cutting. What looked timely in the 90s looks downright prescient a few decades ago. Yo, I don't care what they say in this article. When they said, so what did they say? If you watch it closely, it falls apart.
You can talk about it a little bit, King Solomon.
Say it again.
Can I talk about it? Like, I like to explain this movie to people, and it's okay, like, to spoil the end because it's an old movie. In this movie, basically, the president is about to get to the second election, and he have a scandal with a minor. That's in the 90s. It wasn't a thing at that time, but they were hinting to it. And we have seen the scandals with minors now. Anyway, this scandal is gonna ruin his election. So one of his advisors or somebody from these secret agencies decide to go to a director in Hollywood, which was Dustin Hoffman, and the secret guy is Robert De Niro. He tell him about the situation, and he tell him that they need to do something distraction. And at the end, he want the president to be a hero, and people love him. And do your job as a director, as an inspiring director. Dustin Hoffman started thinking, he tailored a story that there is a minor, we're going to bring a little girl, and this little girl will be kidnapped. So everybody now is emotional about little girl. We're going to give this little girl an image. He designed everything, and the way he was talking, it's reality. It's what we see. It's Greta. You remember Greta, the environment girl? She was this.
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, they all have those same hairstyle, the same look. They like this image. So he got the girl. He make everybody emotional. Now the president is going to do this and that. The president is going to mention that. The president now sending forces to bring. Oh, somebody died. Okay, that's a hero. Let's make a song about it. And this song we go implant it in the Library of the Congress and date it 1944. So they invented a song in the 90s, and they fake this song to be something from the traditions of the Americans from the 40s. Fake history. That's Mandela effect, for example. And at the end of the movie was the most interesting to me. The president will win, prevail, he do everything. Now, here it comes the conflict inside Dustin Hoffman. Dustin Hoffman never did something that big, in his opinion. Like even winning the Oscar or doing whatever, it doesn't make him a good director like directing this real life event. So he starts asking for credit. Here is the secret agency guy. He told him, man, hush, keep it quiet. This is not how we play. It's not like this in real life. We're not in a movie. So what happened?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
You're good. So then they make the camera fade away from his house and saying, director, this guy have died of a heart attack, and that's it. That's the end of his story. And the movie shows you step by step how they are creating false flags. And yeah, the funniest part came after a certain group of people, of bad people in that country, they claim responsibility. So America have to send real forces now, because there is somebody to fight.
Mm-hmm. And everything that happened in that movie can happen in real life. The way that they fake wars happens in real life. I've seen footage where they faked like war footage. Like I've seen it. Seen headlines where they'll just take an old headline and like keep the same picture and change the words. Like that's happened in real life. In real life. And I'm like, yo, this is just like the movie. So for somebody who say, oh no, it can't in this write up, they're like, oh no, it can't fall. This can't happen. Seeing it happens every day, B. Every day. Yes, they did. They're doing it in Ukraine. Not they did it, they're doing it. They're doing it right now in Ukraine. Yeah. So, you know what? If I had some time, I would show some footage. Some fake footage. Just like if y'all ever see the fake footage of what happened in Boston, where those people was supposed to be in body bags, but they was moving around.
Smoking cigarettes while in the body bag.
That's right. There are lots of times when they use fake footage, when reporters use fake footage, they stage stuff. Like, it's a thing, right? It's a whole. Do me a favor. Hey, can you talk about? So the next one is JFK. Can you talk about the movie JFK for a minute? I got to do something.
Diablo, you've seen it, right?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. You have something for JFK? I haven't watched it, but I was going to read IMDb summary about the movie.
Go ahead. You got it.
So they say New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison discovers there is more to the Kennedy assassination than the official story. What they say more about that?
Been so long since I've seen the movie that I couldn't even really just give a good rundown on it without getting it mixed up with all the other stuff I've seen about the whole JFK thing. We got somebody.
Huh?
We were just talking.
Yeah. So we just got done talking about. So you seen the movie JFK? I think we said.
I haven't seen it, no, but I just looked it up now to see what's the story about.
So it's a more detail. It's kind of like the documentary that you were talking about. Except this is a major motion film, and so they don't get as deep as the documentary. Like, if you've seen that documentary, because I've seen that too. This film doesn't get that deep, but it's a major motion picture. And it clearly lays out that there was an organized effort to take out Kennedy. And so even if you don't see it, I think this is huge because it's a huge movie from Oliver Stone, who's a director. And yeah, it's huge. Hessa said they use old footage from Syria to pretend like it's Ukraine. That's wild. All right, guys, let me see. We're on number 15.
19. We got all the way to 15 already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 15. Let's see. The Manchurian Candidate, which we just talked about. Here, I'll read the synopsis. It is hold on, let me see. The literal Manchuria of the original becomes the Manchurian Global, a deeply connected equity firm with a vested interest in keeping the globe unstable and making sure war stays alive and well. It's tough to remake a classic as respected as and well known as Frankenheimer's original, but director Jonathan Demme reshapes the material in his own style, putting the emphasis on characters and personal cost suffered by the brainwashed Major Marco. That's Denzel Washington. That's the Manchurian Candidate. That's the new one in 2004. And the damage done when the unscrupulous attempt to profit by undoing democracy from within. Meryl Streep is particularly memorable as senator with nefarious intentions that many at the time assumed, despite Streep's insistence to be contrary. It said despite Streep's insistence to the contrary to be based on Hillary Clinton. So they're saying that she was her candidate in the movie was based on Hillary Clinton, and this is in 2004. That's funny. The Manchurian Candidate is one of them classic joints. But I find it interesting that they're putting the military-industrial complex on Front Street, right? Because that's what they're talking about here when they talk about a deeply connected equity firm with vested interest in keeping the globe unstable and making sure war stays alive. That's the military-industrial complex.
But they didn't talk anything about the MK Ultra part of the movie or the psychological part and the hypnosis.
So talk about it.
It's the story that there is a prisoner of war. He goes to he come back to the America as a hero, and when he's here, he get activated by mistake, and it turned out that he had been programmed in his imprisonment to be an assassin or somebody that really gonna do bad things. And he after activating, he start going through, and he's became so dangerous. That's what I remember.
Right. So that's the thing with MK Ultra. Like, it's always like a trigger word or something like that. So there's a phrase, a trigger word, a sound, a picture, or something that sets people off. And they definitely left that part out of the synapses, I should say. But that's a huge thing in MK Ultra. Just like when I just talked about what happened with Jack Ruby. So he was set off to get rid of Oswald, and then when the guy in charge of MK Ultra comes to see him, he says the phrase, or he does whatever needs to be done to unravel him mentally. And then dude is just a babbling vegetable from then on. So you know what? The MK Ultra part, it permeates throughout a lot of the different conspiracies. Like the MK Ultra victims or perpetrators are present in a lot of the stuff. Different, allegedly, in a lot of different conspiracies. And like,
this reminds me of the trigger words they use. They use it in Family Guy one time. They were talking about that. They said, you have to choose a sentence, and this sentence cannot be said at all. He said, how come? Maybe anybody would say it by mistake. He said, no, the activating is going to be, oh my God, this Korean family next to me in the restaurant are so quiet. He was like making a racist joke about Korean being loud at restaurant. So yeah, that's a Family Guy.
That's funny. All right, let me see. I haven't seen this one. So number 14 is something called Winter Kills. It's another Wilder adaptation of a Condon novel. Winter Kills stars Jeff Bridges as the half brother of JFK, of a JFK-like president, who starts to unravel the true story behind the president's death nearly 20 years later. His investigation sends him on an increasingly disturbing journey that leads him to suspect everyone from the mafia to rival politicians to Hollywood studio, until arriving at the grimmest possible solution of all. Director William Reichardt uses the JFK assassination as a fodder for dark comedy, creating a kind of grotesque caricature of a political paranoia featuring the cast that includes John Huston and a bunch of people I don't care about. So essentially, it's a JFK-like movie.
You see how many JFK in this list?
Say it again.
How many JFK movies so far in the list? A lot.
3? That was 3.
That's a lot in a short list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, list of 25 having 3 JFK movies is wild.
So far.
I never heard of this Winter Kills one before.
Me neither. It's old though, so I'm not. It makes sense. This is 1979. Like, that's a long, long time ago. That's back when you was in your 20s, Robin.
You older than me, shoot.
Number 13. This is one out of 2018. I've never heard of this one. Under the Silver Lake. Anybody seen that one? You seen that one, Robin?
I never heard of it.
Let's see. A slacker who already sees the world as a place filled with conspiracies and hidden messages is either the best or worst person to investigate what appears to be a real mystery in this darkly comedic and underseen film. Set in Los Angeles, filled with coded messages and secret hideouts, seemingly ancient songwriters, serial killers that target dogs. Is that supposed to be Manson? And other oddities. The film plays like a cross between Inherent Vice and Foucault's. Wow. That somehow makes more sense than weirder. The weirder it gets, and the deeper Sam falls into the crack in reality opened up by the disappearance of a neighbor. I don't know about this one. Robin, you watch this one, then tell me how it goes. Yeah, I don't know about this.
Tell me the name of it again. Tell me the name of it again.
Under the Silver Lake.
I'll think about it.
I found one 2018 Under the Silver Lake.
Yeah, that's
There
what
is
it
no
is.
70s. Okay. Yeah, it looks like interesting movie. Like the idea is about the cult inside Hollywood and the industry, like the entertainment industry, and they're tied to the secret societies, from what I understand. But I never watched.
No, so when they talk about a serial killer, what's that? Serial killer with a dog or some shit like that? You seen is that Son of Sam? Or are they talking about Charles Manson? Coded messages, secret hideouts, and seemingly
Son of Sam is the one that was getting the messages from the dog.
So they're talking about serial killers in LA. Are they talking about like what serial killer was in LA? Zodiac killer, maybe? I don't know.
Manson was in LA, in Hollywood. He killed.
He killed that one. Oh, he harmed that one actress. Remember?
Yeah, like in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's
That was
basically
a
the
good
same
movie.
story.
That was
But
a
they
really,
changed
really
the
good
ending.
movie.
So they changed the ending. Yeah, they changed the ending. So
Conspiracy movie, Diablo.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Would you say that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a conspiracy movie?
Not exactly, no, but it's a realistic. It's like somebody from inside revealing. They're revealing some of the dark side of Hollywood. Everybody was interested in the story that portrayed by Leonardo DiCaprio. And the ending was surprising, actually, because it doesn't have any. He didn't build to it in the movie a lot. Tarantino, we always like this. He just surprised you, and it was spontaneous, actually, in real life. Even when it happens to that actress, the bad incident happened to her from Manson followers. It was just once in a sudden. There was no warning before.
Yeah.
So they glazed over a lot in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like the whole Manson story. Like, are you familiar with the Manson story at all, Diablo?
Yeah, a little bit. I read about him that he have a cult around him, a lot of people, and they were doing what he wants, right? No?
No.
So
Manson. No. That story, that's the mainstream story, right? But essentially, allegedly, the whole Manson thing was orchestrated by the three-letter Big G. Right? So they had so you know how we talked about they got like, so it was real, it was part of the MK Ultra kind of thing where they were using psychedelics to control people, allegedly. Right? And so they were so it's literally them using psychedelics to see what they can make people do. Right. So it was a whole setup. Like that whole area was a setup to study people and mind control. Right. So Manson
Interesting.
Manson didn't come up with that idea. He didn't bring the stuff together. Like, no, he was put there by the big G and the three-letter organizations because they were studying, right? They were studying people. I know, Wayne, I'm not smacking. Like, I can't chew my grapes and like I'm chewing them nice and quiet. Like, I ain't bothering nobody. What's wrong with y'all?
So you better cut it out. You better cut it out. Talking about the three girls.
She said what?
Where's she gonna go, Lionel?
What'd she say? Hold on. Look at the three girls that was with him now. Tell me they're not. Oh, God. Here you go.
Oh, here has to go.
You know what? We might pull him up on another day, Hess. We got to get through this list, though. All right. It's a movie from 1999 called The Insider. It's got Russell Crowe. Let's see. A former tobacco industry executive reluctantly agrees to go public with some damaging information at the urging of 60 Minutes producer to depict how powerful corporations use fear to keep their secrets, making explicit threats of legal action and implicit threats of bodily harm. In the case, the cover-up might not be worse as the crime. Secretly increasing the addictive properties of cigarettes to hook more customers. But it's still pretty bad. Okay, so that's what it's about. It's about corporate greed. So there's more to go along with that, right? But that's a whole different discussion. I actually was going to talk about that on Wednesday. We might end up talking about it on Friday. Talk about nicotine and the lies about nicotine because, oh, look again. What am I looking at? Hold on. Oh, God. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull up. What was these girls' name? Hold on. So, Hess is having me.
You're going to get our friend in trouble. You're going to get our friend in trouble and you're going to get his live kicked off.
Hold on. So, let me see. Members. No, I'm not. So, I'm not. Hold on. Let me see if I can get some pictures. Let me see if I can get some pictures. Do I see pictures? All right. Let me see. Susan Atkins. Hold on. I'm going to show them. Oh, wait. Susan Atkins. Hold on. All right. Which ones in particular? The ones that was with him when the crime happened? That's what you're talking about? Let me see.
Now, you know, Hessa, she going to say all of them. All of them.
Hold on. Which one's Hess? All right. Who did it? Let me see. Let me look at the ladies that did it. Who did she want me to look at? The three that got arrested? Okay, here, let me look at the three that got arrested. I've seen their pictures before. Let's see who played a key role. Hey, yo, that's funny. Here, let me show y'all what Hess is talking about. So Hess is talking about these people here. Hold on, where is it? Effects, let me cut it off. Alright, so Hess is talking about these people here. This who you talking about, Hess? Hess is saying that, you know, these are dudes.
The one in the middle actually looks like an old man. Really, her face.
There you go. See, I know you one of Hess's homies. So Hess is saying these are Sharon Tate, Susan Atkins, and Patricia Krenwinkel. All right, so I don't know what y'all think, man. Y'all think these are dudes? Diablo does. Diablo.
No comment.
I don't know, but it makes sense. The one in the left and the one in the middle, very
Masculine.
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. All right, Hess, you got your wish.
Where we at now? We on number 12, 13 now?
I have an honorable mention since we're talking about the tobacco industry and smoking. There is a movie called Thank You for Smoking, came in 2005.
Saw that one. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that one is also, I would put it with the conspiracy movies because it shows you what kind of personality the CEOs and the people that leading these corporations, what kind of personality they have, what kind of like emotions. They have no heart of steel.
Yeah, I saw a study that says most CEOs are psychopaths. Like in order to kind of
Exactly, I heard that too, and I believe it.
So they're psychopaths. All right, Robin, we're on number 11. All right, number 11. 3 days of the Condor, and it's if the Kennedy assassination opened up cracks of.
What is Kennedy assassination again?
No. It starts off. This is how they're describing the movie.
Oh,
It says if the Kennedy assassination opened up cracks of distrust in the foundation of American life. Watergate turned those cracks into fissures. Movies had featured shadowy government operatives before, but it took the 1970s and paranoid thrillers like 3 Days of Condor to turn them into movie staples. It says Pollack's film goes even further, creating a world in which nothing is quite what it seems, and every ordinary-looking stranger walking down the street might be a threat. Robert Redford stars as a low-level CIA analyst who returns from a lunch run to find everyone in his New York office had been taken out. Feeling he can trust no one, he forces an unsuspecting woman, Faye Dunaway, to shelter him. I've never seen this. It seems like a pretty typical movie, though.
It has a good rating in IMDb, by the way, 7.4, which I think it's watchable. I add it to my list.
All right, number 10. 7 Days in May. It says John Frankenheimer followed. So it's the same guy that wrote Manchurian Candidate. Let's see. A kind of script. 7 Days in May. 7 Days in May's power comes from its matter-of-fact approach and understated performance, which combine to create disarmingly plausible depiction of a military coup to supplant the president. Kirk Douglas stars as a Marine colonel who comes to suspect the chairman of Joint Chiefs, a hero seemingly an unimpeachable character, is conspiring to stage a coup d'etat. It's called 7 Days in 1964.
This movie is like another version of Stanley Kubrick movie from the same year. Doctor Strangelove, I Stop Worry and Start Loving the Bomb. Came in the same year.
So I watched that. I watched it today because I couldn't remember Doctor Strangelove. I watched that today.
This general, the same, they're talking about the same personality. That's weird. Like 2 movies in the same year. Maybe there was something at that time. Like they were suspecting something like this, or they were worried about this. So the nuclear power goes out of hand. Because this is a general want to overthrow the president. In Stanley Kubrick, the general just ignore everybody and gave the order.
Yeah, he just did it. He just did it. Let's see. Number 9. Okay, of the top conspiracy movies according to this list. It's called The Parallax View. It's from 1974. Let's see. It's a 1970s thriller to a fact-based account of Washington Post reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein's breaking of the Watergate story. Those films sandwiched The Parallax View, a conspiracy theory-inspired thriller starring Warren Beatty, a reporter who comes to suspect the witnesses of an assassination of a presidential candidate are being knocked off one by one.
Again, Kennedy.
If anybody that don't know, everybody who was on the grassy knoll within 2 years of the event was gone. Everybody on the grassy knoll was gone within 2 years. As his investigation deepens, clues lead Frady toward the mysterious Parallax Corporation, but Frady quickly finds himself in an in over his head in which he couldn't have anticipated. Famed for his brainwashing sequence, MK Ultra, Pecula's film amplifies the eras of fearful mood to hysterical extremes, but doesn't seem any less truthful for it. It joined a chorus of films echoing the notion that corporations and government, often working hand in hand, that's true, weren't always acting in our best interests, even if their efforts didn't match our wildest, scariest flights of fancy. So, number 8, I think we talked about this earlier. They Live, right? So, They Live is a must see. Anybody in the conspiracy circles, if you haven't seen Must Live, you ain't got the glasses on, right? You got to see it. Must Live. I mean, They Live is the joint.
They Live, the highlight of the movie is when he put the glass on and when he take it off. This is the message in the movie. The other parts of the movie might sound cheesy and low budget, but this part is very deep because there is like a advertisement in the street. He put the glasses, he see obey. He look at something else, he see follow. It's all like this. It's just seeing stuff and it's all reality. The messages they're trying to deliver to you in the subconscious.
So, to me, the most important part of the movie, or the best part of the movie, is when this dude, so remember, he's got these glasses that allows him to see the truth, right? And so he can look at people and see that they're really kind of lizards or reptiles or whatever. He can look at advertisements. He can see what the advertisement's trying to sell him. He can look at anything and see, like, the truth. And he gets into a literal fist fight with his homeboy because his homeboy won't put the glasses on. That is literally what goes on in life when you're trying to tell people.
Exactly.
Right? Like, he was just trying to tell his homeboy the truth. Like, yo, this is wild. You got to see this. And his homeboy would rather fight him than see the truth. The metaphor was outstanding. I watched that whole, and they had a knockdown drag out fight. It was the most unathletic old man fight ever in the history of cinema. But it showed how people rather fight you to the death than see the truth. I was like, yo. So yeah. They Live is dope. Like, if you ain't seen it, you got to put it on your to watch list now.
That reminds me of a joke. I hope I can translate it to English. It's in Arabic, but they say that there is a guy that, let's say a preacher, or he's like calling people to believe in God. And he went to a clan that deserted in the North Pole, one of the Eskimo. And he told them about God, and they have to go to obey God or they will go to hell. So the head of the clan came to him and said, so if we didn't know about God and we lived our life and die without you coming to us, what's going to happen? He said, nothing. You're excused. He said, why the hell you come and tell us then? Now you put us in a very tight position. We have to believe you or we go to hell. Why you came to us?
Hey, that is kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I'm gonna use that on my zealots that come around. Number 7. All right, guys, we get into it. Number 7 is called Secret Honor, 1984. Another old film. That post-Watergate paranoia proved so pervasive, even Richard Nixon couldn't escape it. Or at least the Nixon played by Philip Baker Hall in Robert Altman's masterful one-man show movie, adapting a play by Donald Freed and Arnold Stone. The film consists of nothing more than a drunken, sweating Nixon monologuing about his life, his presidency, his grievances, and those who betrayed him. Hall delivers one of the great performances, so great that it's easy to forget the final act hinges on the revelation of a conspiracy theory that makes the title surprisingly literal. Whether or not the film believes it is sort of beside the point. Secret Honor suggests there are some forces so powerful that even the president of the United States can't stand up to him. Yo, I must watch this movie. Dude, what do you know about the Nixon conspiracy? You know anything about that, Diablo?
Nixon, Nixon, he's the guy who said, I'm not a crook, right? Yeah. There is a very famous Saudian gun trader. He was like an international thing in the 80s and the 70s. And he proved that Nixon was his lawyer in a court. And he got away with something. Yeah, Nixon was corrupted, was a crook.
Whoa. What makes you think Nixon was a crook?
That's what I think.
Hey, bro. So I go through on the podcast, I go through literally a 3-hour breakdown of what happened. Here, let me give you the 2-cent version. So Dwight Eisenhower was the president before John F. Kennedy. Okay? Dwight Eisenhower was the first president of the military-industrial complex. So in his final speech...
When you say, don't say that, say the MIO or something.
Oh, instead of...
You see, Hassan wrote in the chat the name of that gun trader, Khashoggi, his name.
Okay.
Hassan wrote it in the chat.
So, Eisenhower was the first president to say that phrase, right? That industrial phrase. Nixon was his vice president. Okay, so everything that Eisenhower knew about the warmongers, Nixon knew. So Kennedy comes to office. Have you ever heard the Kennedy speech when he was talking to, I think it was like the National Press Dinner or whatever, National Press Luncheon, when he talked about the secret societies, running operating in secret and who's...
Yeah, that's Kennedy.
Yeah, that's Kennedy,
right? Yeah. This was one of his final moments.
Right. So, Eisenhower talks about the warmongers. Kennedy talks about the warmongers. And they both know who they are. Kennedy actually puts things in place to kind of try to take away their power. So after Kennedy, after the Kennedy event, his vice president takes over. His vice president, I think he finished out Kennedy's term. He didn't want to run after his term. So he only did, I think, 4 years of his own. So that was Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson was after Kennedy. After Lyndon B. Johnson was Nixon. Remember, Nixon was the vice president under Eisenhower who knew about all the dealings. Nixon came to power, and you know how we talk all the stuff that Trump is doing now? Nixon was doing a lot of that same stuff.
So you think he's the victim, but they demonize him in the media and still like killing his personality until now.
So Nixon pulled out of Vietnam. He started defunding the military, right? He started getting rid of people in positions that were warmongers, right? If you listen to the Nixon tape, he makes very clear about who he's getting rid of. So he's doing all the things that Eisenhower wanted Kennedy to do. Kennedy was trying to do, but he couldn't do. And so Lyndon B. Johnson wouldn't do because he was compromised. And so Nixon, going into his second term, so think about this. I want you to check this out. Going into his second term, he wins, right? So now his approval rating is through the roof. He's got one of the highest approval ratings. He's polling. He's going to win by a landslide. It's not even close. Okay. And so in his second term, they bring his vice president up on charges of taxes, like tax evasion. Right? Spiro Agnew is his vice president. They invent some charges on Spiro Agnew to get him to resign. When he resigns, the Democratic Speaker of the House forces Nixon to take on Gerald Ford as his vice president. Gerald Ford was on the Warren Commission. You know what the Warren Commission is?
No.
The Warren Commission is the commission put together to investigate the Kennedy event. Gerald Ford was a part of that. Gerald Ford was the one that came up with the magic bullet theory. You know you ever heard the magic bullet thing? About how, it was only one dude, but we got to explain why, like, all these bullet holes is in people. And so he was the one that came up with the magic bullet. Like, oh yeah, bullet hit him, then stopped in midair and turned and came back, went through this wrist and then ended up here. Like, that was Gerald Ford. So Gerald Ford is one of them people. He's one of them enemies, right? So they force Nixon to take Gerald Ford as his vice president after he gets elected the second time. Then, after they force Gerald Ford on him, then they come up with a story about a break-in at the Watergate Hotel, right? And and the people that were part of the break-in was two dudes who was with the CIA, with the three-letter organizations, a professional crook. Like, it was a whole bunch of, like, it was all people affiliated with three-letter organizations in the Big G, right? These weren't low-level people. And they were just breaking into a campaign office that he was winning already. Like, the whole thing was a setup, and they forced him to resign. They forced Nixon to resign. And just like that, Gerald Ford became president without getting any votes. Gerald Ford got no votes for president, and all of a sudden he was the president. Like, that's the definition of a coup. So Nixon was that whole thing was a setup, bro. Because he was doing all the things that they didn't want done.
Thank you for clarifying that. You know, what I know about this person is from documentaries, and all the documentaries are usually like making him the bad guy. And this makes sense. What you're saying makes sense, exactly. And also, one time even they tried to analyze his body language while he's giving his speech when he said, "I'm not a crook." And in that body language, they say, yeah, he's a crook. So I build in my assumption on that. So thank you for clarifying that. I would go and search deeper in his story. That's interesting.
No, it was a whole setup. It was wild. All right. So number 6, we almost at the end of the list, y'all. Number 6 is 1981, another old movie called Blowout. A riff on Michelangelo Antonioni's Blow Up that finds a murder hidden within sounds rather than images. Blowout cast John Travolta as Jack Terry, a sound technician working for a grubby Philadelphia film producer. While recording some atmospheric noises, he witnesses and records a presidential hopeful's fatal car accident. And an event Jack comes to suspect is actually an assassination, so more presidential assassination stuff. Propulsively directed by Brian De Palma, Blowout combines elements of the Kennedy assassination, the Chappaquiddick incident, and the post-Watergate paranoia into a potent mystery that suggests even a serial killer's seemingly random act of violence might be part of the larger plot. Seem like, they just mixed the hodgepodge of stuff. Number 5.
Chappaquiddick.
Huh?
Did you see Chappaquiddick?
The movie? No, I didn't see the movie Chappaquiddick.
It was actually pretty good. I liked it.
What was it about?
It basically telling the story of the Kennedy brother that ran off the bridge with the car, and the girl ends up passing away, and how they ended up making Kennedy the president, and it was just that whole story, but it was good though.
All right. All right, number 5, another old film. It's called The Conversation. It's only coincidental that The Conversation, the masterpiece Francis Ford Coppola squeezed in between The Godfather 1 and 2, appeared at the height of the Watergate scandal, but it's apt nonetheless beyond the central role of recording equipment in each. Both play off of sense that nothing is how it appears and that there's always someone in the shadow pulling the strings. Gene Hackman stars as an audio surveillance expert whose latest recordings at the behest of powerful clients known as only the director may reveal plans for murder. Seems like a regular ass fucking conspiracy movie. You know what I'm saying?
But wait a minute. Now, the movie you said before this one, the John Travolta movie, was about recording. And this movie is also Gene Hackman is expert in recording.
I was going to say the exact same thing. The last movie you just said had to do with somebody putting murder in an auditory.
Right.
And
so
this reminds me of a very famous movie that Gene Hackman also expert in that movie, Enemy of the State.
Yeah, Enemy of the State. Enemy of the State. Yeah. I remember that. That's what
Will Smith movie. Yeah. That movie is also about a video recording of assassination of a government official that fall in the wrong hand, and we go from there showing the surveillance and the American might in surveillance. That's back in the 90s. A crazy movie. And Gene Hackman came and explained to him, he told him, this is old. We have this since the 70s. We have the keywords. We have the mass surveillance since the 70s, not in the 90s. Imagine what they have now. Watching this movie back in 1997, we used to think this movie is like science fiction, but right now it's old school. Everything in that movie is basically now from the past. We know that they have more. Like Snowden said when he talked about stuff, unbelievable.
Hammer said to us, movie The Substance.
I think somebody just talked about this movie like 2 days ago.
I talked about it with Hassa, remember? When she was like, don't spoil it for me.
That's right. It was you.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, Hammer, he saw The Substance. You know what? Hess is still here, but he saw The Substance. You know what we'll do?
One thing I want to tell you about The Substance, it's not a conspiracy movie, but it's a disturbing, very disturbing movie. In the middle of the movie, in the first day I watched the movie, I stopped the movie and I went to the bathroom and vomited.
What?
Yes.
It's like that?
It's not like that. It's disgusting. It has gore, a lot of gore in the movie. But the problem in the movie is the soundtrack. They're using this movie reminds me of Requiem of Dream. Have you ever seen, guys, Requiem of Dream?
I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. Do you remember the soundtracks of that movie? How hard it is. It's like putting you in the character, making you relive the agony of the character. This is what's happening in this movie. The soundtracks are so hard, and I was watching the movie with high definition audio in allegedly a good speakers, like a good headsets, and that was a bad choice. You should watch this movie in a very basic voice sound system, because it's like electronic drugs. I don't get sick easily, and I don't remember the last time I went and vomit just like this. I'm not eating anything wrong. I wasn't drinking anything wrong. Just normal. Watching the movie, drinking tea, I went and vomit, and I couldn't finish. I have to finish it the second day, and the same thing. When I reach the certain point, I start feeling bad, and I was watching it in the TV speakers. Normal the second day. The movie is strong, but I give it 9 out of 10. It's an amazing movie. The director is a female, but she just like collected the master scenes from like 20, 30 masterpiece movies, and she could fit all these master scenes in one narrative to make a great movie. It put you in the edge of your seat from the beginning to the end. A great movie, The Substance.
The Substance. All right. So it's already on my list. So I'm trying to finish up what I'm watching now, but The Substance is on the list. So yeah, have y'all heard?
Before we move on, I have seen handful of videos, like 10 videos talking, showing people leaving the movie theater halfway the movie. They couldn't finish the movie. A lot of people have put this in social media, and TikTok and Instagram about The Substance. If you search the movie, you're going to see these videos. People are migrating the theater. The movie is still going on, but people are leaving. And a lot of people reported that they vomit from this movie.
Heard of this movie before. You're going to make me go watch it, or at least attempt to.
Let's see. All right, here we go. Number 4. 1974 Chinatown. So this is Jack Nicklaus begins this Roman Polanski directed Robert Towne penned noir as a cynic unaware of how much more rotten the 1930s Los Angeles he calls home is than he imagines. At the heart of the film, spoiler warning for both Chinatown and Los Angeles history, is a plot to displace farmers in order to control the city's water supply. As history conflates and simplifies decades of historic events, but its depiction of a place whose very existence depends on the underhanded schemes hatched away from the public eye to the benefit of a few suggests that conspiracy theories and civic planning are sometimes one and the same. AKA, what's the word? Eminent domaining. Yeah. This is essentially what that gives me. All right, where they're moving people off their land. Not even a stretch. Let's see. Number 3, and this kind of goes, I think, to what we was just talking about. To recount the story. So the name of the movie is All the King's Men. Or All the President's Men. I don't want to say All the King's Men. All the President's Men. and it's literally to recount the story of Watergate. This is the Nixon thing. And the Washington Post reporters who brought it to light. So check this out. So you know how I just laid out everything for you about like who Nixon was? The story came out from some reporters, Woodward and Bernstein, right? So it says, to recount the story of Watergate and the Washington Post reporters who brought it to light. Alan J. Pakula returned to the tools he employed in Clute and the parallax view. They served him as well in dealing with the fact as they did in fiction. Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman play respectively Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, whose probe of a curious break-in at the Democratic National Committee's headquarters put them on a journey through a shadowy world of slush funds, dirty tricks, and dubious cover stories. So this is about, and eventually to the President of the United States himself. For many, Watergate didn't come as a shock, so much more as confirmation. So the Woodward and Bernstein dudes that actually uncovered one, the Washington Post was started by somebody, the dude, I forget his name, but he was in the precursor to the three-letter organization with the C. He was in the precursor, and so he is the C because he is in the precursor. He started the Washington Post, and the Woodward dude, the Bob Woodward reporter, was also in that thing. He was military intelligence. So you have a C, that is a C-letter organization, well, a three-letter organization, start with a C, founded the Washington Post. And a brand new, because Bob Woodward was a brand new reporter at this time, who happened to be intelligence in the military, just so happened to break this story and put that in the context of everything else that we talked about. So this is a load of trash. This movie right here is a load of trash. So they're trying to sell the story that they made up to demonize Richard Nixon. Number 2, hold on. Oh, you know what? This is the Manchurian Candidate from the 1960s. So Manchurian Candidate is on here twice, but this is the original one. Okay. This is the original one. And so we ain't got to talk about that. We already talked about the Manchurian Candidate. And number 1 on this list it's a movie called Z from 1969. All right.
That's an ancient list. Most of the movies are from the 70s and the 60s.
Yeah, so it's called the Essential Conspiracy Theories list, right? So I guess they're trying to give you kind of the foundation for it before you can move on to stuff like, I mean, even some of the stuff that you and I talked about, like Clockwork Orange, that's from the 70s, right? So Clockwork Orange, The Shining was the 70s.
The Shining, 1980.
Yeah,
I think 76 or so. Yeah, 70s, the Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, it said Clockwork Orange.
Mr. Strangelove or Dr. Strangelove, 60s.
60s. Yeah, so even you got some, like, your list is pretty it's pretty ancient as well.
But I'm surprised they didn't mention like the Matrix.
So I think they were doing like the foundational ones. Like I think they're thinking is that a lot of these movies like they build off of it, right? So a lot of the lists that I go and look at, they give you a lot of old ones first, right? Let me see. There's a list that's
Ethan's got some good movies. Ethan, can you come up?
Hey man, we don't acknowledge Ethan.
No, leave my friend alone.
We don't acknowledge Ethan. Did he put him in the chat?
But I mean, I've talked to him. I've had conversations with him about movies before, and he's got a good repertoire of movies under his belt.
So let me see. Like you said, if you want to go like new stuff, then you'd be like The Matrix. But I think that's one of them that like everybody just kind of knows.
You know, let's come from this year. Civil War was a very scary movie.
Who?
Civil War.
Seven War. What's that?
No, Civil War.
Oh, Civil War. Okay. I didn't see it. So you saying it was good?
It was good. Not great, but it was good and watchable, yes. Civil War is talking about, it's a dystopian look, like there is a president that this president is getting in his third term. And he's declaring war in American people, like they don't want this to happen. And there was a big division in the States. So, and they show you the trip of some journalists through this crisis. So they're traveling from one state to another, and in the way you're going to see a lot of the symptoms of the conflict, like the money doesn't mean anything, the American dollar doesn't mean anything, which you say, it's Canadian. I give you 500 Canadian. He changes his mind. He will take it. Snipers, people are doing stuff for their own. It shows you the chaos.
Okay. Civil War. So I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Because, you know, speaking of conspiracy, there is 3 movies came lately. I will consider them like a sequel. The first one came in 2021, Don't Look Up. I'm sure you're familiar with this one. The second one is Leave the World Behind, Obama Protection. And the third one of this sequel would be Civil War. It's like these 3 movies are put in order of the. You see in Don't Look Up, you see the crisis is coming. First you ignore it, then you mock it, then you fear it, then you accept it, then you act. The second one, when they show Leave the World Behind, the crisis is here, for people are like clueless. They don't know the crisis is coming. Like the people they show us in Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up, they show you scientists, astrology scientists, the president, politicians, Elon Musk. They show him as that guy who owned the phone company, that he owned all the technology. They show you the people that in the front line of the crisis. And Leave the World Behind, they show you just a regular family, a broken American family. In the third one, they show you the aftermath. Civil War show you the aftermath of that. So I will consider these 3 movies are a sequel, and everybody like interested in the conspiracy to watch these very 3 movies back to back.
My man. All right, so hold on. Let me see. Yo, we overtime right now. So I'm gonna have you come back next week or the week after. We'll get into some current movies. I know you like a lot of current movies, so this has been cool. I like going through the list with you. You remind me of myself when it comes to movies. And plus, I'm gonna watch a couple of the movies that you told me, and I want you to check out a couple of the movies that I told you. And
sure, every movie we mentioned right now, I added to my list.
I'm sure. All right, y'all. Yo, I think this is the longest live that I've done. This is wild. And we ain't get kicked off, Robin.
This is my first live in TikTok ever. Thank you, Lionel.
Yeah.
You know what? You can actually go on camera. Did you know you can go on camera?
Yeah, but I prefer not now.
All right, that's fine. So hey man, this was dope, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. I appreciate y'all watching, man. All y'all that's been up. What you say, Ms. J? The longer the better. According to who? Y'all don't like me eating on. She's like, oh, you eating? I want some grapes. I'm sitting here. Normally when I'm doing the show, I can go on mute and just kind of eat and be chilling in the background, but I can't do it here. Like, is there not a mute button here, Robin? Do I have a mute button?
You can't turn your mic off?
I don't think so. Let's see. Hold on. No. No, I don't have a mute button.
Okay, I thought if you push your
Oh,
microphone,
no, I do. There it goes. Hold on. Let me see.
yeah. No, we can't hear you.
Yeah, all right. So I found my mute button. All right, cool. So, all right, y'all, man, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I will see y'all on Wednesday. It's Wednesday is the 4th, so I think me and Chop, we had an idea for the 4th, so I think we're gonna follow through on the 4th. So I'm gonna see you guys on Wednesday on the podcast. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Yeah. So we'll be back here on Monday. All right. So we're here every Monday at around 10:30, I think. I've been starting pretty regularly around 10:30 Eastern time. So all right. I appreciate y'all hanging out though, man. It's been real. Remember.
Thank you for having me.
Yo, thanks for coming on, Diablo. You gonna come back,
Amazing,
bro?
bro.
We're gonna chop it up. Blackistheuniform.com, blackistheuniform.com, man. Check out the shirts. Yo, they lit. Yo, this stuff.
Let me read what you write in the shirt because I've been curious to read it. Wait. I cannot be held responsible for what my face does when you talk. I have to review your live to see what your face were doing because I wasn't looking at the screen.
Don't worry about it.
Actually did really, really good tonight. You did really good tonight with the facial expressions. But last week, though, was a hot mess.
Well, last week I had different people talking to me. This week I had somebody who knew what they was talking about this week, and, it was a good conversation. Last week was...
Very...
Look at that double chin. Look at that double chin. Like, no. All right, man. We're gonna see y'all next week, man. I'll see y'all on the podcast, man. Remember, blackisuniform.com and Conspiracy Cookout with the 10-4 family. Thank y'all for hanging out. It's Conspiracy University. We here every week. Peace.